hold on, Mom. Let's make sure the camera is set up. Let's make sure everything is exactly where it needs to be, bro. Um, okay, wait, hold on. Let me make sure the thing is on too. You guys can hear me, right? In the audio? Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me, man. Let me set this up, bro. This is hold on, man. Good bation. Good libation. Ladies and gentlemen, um, wow. That Raw was very bad. A very bad episode of Raw. You know, we're gonna take one more step. I'm gonna let people file in. I'm gonna give them time because I need to give myself time before we get into what we just watched. And because Triple H said that the landscape was changing tonight. So we're gonna see if the landscape really changed. Let's one more bation sip, okay? Okay. Let's get this straight, bro. Number one, let me move this to the... Can I move this to the side at all? No, I can't. I just have it on the screen like this. Okay, that's completely fine. Doesn't matter. I want to thank you guys for coming to tonight's stream. Tonight's stream, I don't plan on it being super long, but I needed to come on here because of what we just witnessed. Triple H, before this episode, said that this was... Let me get there. Let me pull the quote up for this guy, man. Let's get the quote exactly how Hunter Hearst Helmsley said it, bro. Paul Levesque. Let's see what this guy said. Okay, let's read this word for word, guys. Tonight, the landscape of WWE changes. That is words from Triple H. I want you guys to tell me tonight what changed. What changed? What changed for the better? What actually developed? What actually like you watch? You were like, wow, this is awesome. This is awesome. Nothing was awesome. He lied again. Every single time that Triple H tries to convince us and tell us that, oh, well, you know, it's going to change the landscape. We're having the biggest gate. We have a big era. This is the Paul Levesque era. The game. And you watch the show and you're embarrassed. You should be embarrassing yourself. Logan Paul joining the Vision. What is that accomplishing? What is that accomplishing? Nobody can tell anybody what this is accomplishing. This is an embarrassment. Logan Paul goes out at the end, fakes like he's gonna, punch someone with the brass knuckles, and then punches CM Punk in the side of the head. So now what? We're gonna get a War Games match, and Wade Barrett's gonna tell us that it's gonna be a banger. In the following week, we're gonna get a rematch, and it's gonna be a banger. In the following week, we get another rematch, and it's gonna be a banger. Come on, man. This is embarrassing. It's unbelievable what happened in this show. You look at some of the... I took some notes on what happened tonight. AJ Styles, Jey Uso, CM Punk. CM Punk is nearly 50 years old and he is your world champion. I mean, listen, I don't want to be that guy. But if CM Punk is near 50 and that is the best you have for a world champion on your show, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. I'm just going to leave it at that. We got through the rest of this. We had Logan Paul coming out and confronting CM Punk. Branito Breaker coming out, okay? CM Punkinator. John Cena was mentioned. John Cena's tournament, by the way, is an absolute sham. We're done. It's over. We move on. We had Triple H. He had a little segment in there. I think it was like a video segment or something. Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella. El Grande Americano versus Penta. Jey Uso and CM Punk versus Branito and Bronsinho. Dominic Mysterio and Rey Mysterio. What about this is good? Rebecca Lynch came out and cut a promo. The Kabuki Warriors fought against Bayley and Lyra. Bayley's gimmick is so bad that at the point where it's unwatchable. Why would I want to see Bayley go out there and 1 week she's like, hey, I'm happy. The next week she's like, no, I don't like you, Lyra. I can't stand you. This is embarrassing. This isn't Venom. I've said it before. We're Venom. No. Bayley is a jobber. Tired of seeing this nonsense. We had a tag team championship match between AJ Styles and Dragano Lee versus JD McDonald's and Phineas Balor. We're going to get to that in a second. We're just going to say that for a second. John Cena then had his video segment played about how he's going to have a 16-man tournament to see who's going to fight him in his last match. And then we ended off with Logan Paul basically turning double heel and joining, you know what I'm saying, the new faction division, okay? That is what we had on Raw tonight. We need to first off address Triple H. Guys, Triple H is a liar. I don't know if you've seen all of the different podcast clips that have come out today, and Triple H was talking about how, the landscape was going to change and how much he's been in the White House and how much he loves his product and how he says that we have been writing great shows based off of storytelling rather than being worried about if we can put on great matches, if we can put on a banger. Are you kidding me? What has Triple H done this year that makes you think that these shows are being written by anybody who is competent? Every week, it's the same rematches. It's the same matches. It's the same promos. It's the same segments. Everything about this is embarrassing. And if anybody tries to tell you that Triple H is doing a good job, they're lying. If anyone tries to tell you that Triple H is better than Vincent Kennedy McMahon, they're lying. If anybody tells you that these shows are anything above a 2 out of 10 on average, they're lying. They're lying. I'm taking another sip of the libation before we get into the first segment. Sorry. I don't have the super chat thing open, so I can only see the donos as they pop up, so I got to read them. Let's see here. Somebody sent a dono, $2 donation. I appreciate you. Amstec Metal. He said, for old time's sake, can you break out a Liv Morgan impression? Let me see if I can break out a Liv Morgan for you, man. What did I used to say for Liv Morgan? Oh, yeah, Rhea. It's annoying, bro. Absolute garbage. Let me scroll through and read some of these chats, man. What are you guys thinking about Raw tonight, bro? Let's talk about it. This Raw is... Wait, what did this just say? This Raw is great. I just finished watching Raw. Are you 2 years old? Are you 2 years old, bro? Give the phone back to mommy, bro. Stop. C-Jax, can you do a change? What do you mean by that, bro? I love your impression so much. Thank you so much, man. I want to read some. Wanted to read some of the chat, okay? Let's get into the first segment of the night. Obviously, we already discussed that Triple H is a liar, right? He said the landscape was going to change. The landscape is not changing. The only thing that's going to change is the fact that last week we had a 1 out of 10 Raw, and now we had a 0 out of 10 Raw. Nothing has changed. We have sat back, maxed, relaxed, and let BC spit the facts. Shout out to BC Amplified for that saying. But we sat back and watched one of the worst Raw episodes of all time every single week. And I'm sitting back here and I'm looking at this. What happened here? The opening segment, let's talk about CM Punk. CM Punk came out, guys, and announced, he comes out, he thanks everyone. I want to thank you guys. Oh, wait, I have a donut. Let me acknowledge this. LA Knight was not mentioned in CM Punk's promo. Jose Jimenez, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the support, man, of course. Yes, LA Knight was not mentioned because LA Knight is a jobber. Now, we move on. CM Punk comes out, guys. He goes quiet for 3 seconds. I want you to guess what the fans are chanting after 4 seconds of silence from CM Punk. You deserve it! You deserve it! Everyone deserves it now. You can be a career jobber, and if you come out and have one good match, you have one good promo, you have one decent storyline, and you go out there and you win a mid-card belt that nobody cares about, and guess what they're chanting? You deserve that! You deserve that! What's next? What's next? I'm going to go out there on Raw one week, and they're going to be like, you deserve that! Anyways, after CM Punk says that he deserves it, AJ Styles is mentioned. CM Punk basically says that AJ Styles, Phineas Balor, let me tell you guys this, right? When CM Punk is listing off opponents that he would like to wrestle, he says, listen to these names. AJ Styles. Okay, AJ Styles is on his way out. He's one of the legends of the industry. Cool. The next person he says, Phineas Balor? Phineas Balor, who's been pinned 19,000 times in 2 years? That Finn Balor? He then says, J.D. McDonald's. What business does J.D. McDonald's have fighting for a world title? Do you understand that Raws used to open and close with people like a Jonathan Cena or a Randall Orton or a Triple Fraud or a Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Batista, etc.? And you're telling me that J.D. McDonald's is someone that you are mentioning to fight you for a world title. And I'm told that the landscape has changed. Yes, the landscape has changed. We used to watch S-tier, A-tier main eventers, and even upper-tier mid-carders who today would... Listen, let me tell you something, right? Let's think about some mid-carders from like the 2000s, okay? For example, let's think about early 2010s, like 2000s, right? Let's think of a couple good mid-carders. Number one, Dolph Ziggler in today's day and age would be a main eventer. Is that a fact or no? Let me know in the chat, is that a fact or no? Would Dolph Ziggler not be at least an upper card or main event level guy in today's day and age? He would be a multiple-time world champion today. He already was. But he could literally be a WWE world champion for at least a year in today's era. By far. Jonathan Morrison would have a 1 year plus Intercontinental Championship reign in today's day and age. This today's day and age. Heel R-Truth from 2011 would probably have one of the greatest U.S. championship reigns of all time in today's day and age. That is how bad that things are getting. Do you understand how embarrassing this is? We are sitting back and watching some of the worst content of all time, and Paul Levesque is doing conferences at the White House with Donald Trump trying to tell us about fitness. Anyways, he lists J.D. McDonald's. He then says that another name as well, John Cena. He says, John Cena, if you want to fight me and make yourself the 18-time world champion, then I'm your Huckleberry. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Wait a minute. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Let's look at some of these donos, Mom. Oh wait, because I can see some of the super chats. My bad. Mutates sends in a $5 donor. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for the support. He says, but the live audience, guys, they love Punk and Jay. Yeah, these crowds are full of bots. We really writing this show for John and Jane Doe. I'm crying. That's actually hilarious now that I think about it. Jane Doe. That's exactly who this show is written for, man. It's a bunch of jobbers. A bunch of nameless jobbers. Jobbers, I should say, not jobbers. Anyways, I have another one here. Paul Levesque. Shout out Bobby Monsoon. He said that at in the All In podcast, I don't book for the matches, I book for the stories. Exactly. Thank you. Let's talk about that for a second. Triple H said, and today he said in his podcast, let me give you guys the exact quote. He said that we don't book based off of what can possibly be the best match. We book off of what is the best story that we can tell. That is what Triple H said. What great stories have they told this year? Thank you. Let's move on. Let's move on. John Cena. John Cena was talked about by CM Punk. I said that, and CM Punk refers to the WWE current locker room as a bunch of killers. Let me explain something to you guys because I'm not done with this yet. The same way that Jackery Swaggerton won a world championship many years ago. You know what I'm saying? Some of the youngins out there may not know about this, but Jackery Swagger won a world title at a point. And if that happened in that era, Jey Uso winning the world title in today's era is an equivalent to how stupid that was. We have a comment here. Bombs BZYYT, thank you so much for your support. He says Roman can take that title off of Cody Boring Rhodes. You know, the only thing good about tonight's Raw is that we didn't have to sit back. Oh, what is this? Even Jimmy Wang Yang would put this roster to shame. That is actually hilarious. That is so facts, bro. Yoshitatsu. Tell me if you guys remember Yoshitatsu. Yoshitatsu would actually be a fringe U.S. champion in today's era. People will be looking at him like, hey, give Yoshitatsu a push. And guess what's going to happen if Yoshitatsu won a U.S. championship? Oh, you deserve it. You deserve it. If Maxine Dupree beats Rebecca Lynch, I should say, if she beats Rebecca Lynch for the women's IC title, get ready to watch what the crowd does. Get ready. On top of that, you have other people. Zachary Ryder, heel R-Truth, I already mentioned him. Jeffrey Hardy. Jeff Hardy in today's era would literally be a perennial world champion. Every year he would have at least one WWE title reign or one world title reign in today's era. In today's era, he would be the top guy. It would be him and Romano main eventing at Mania 5 straight years. That's exactly what it would be. We're taking another sip of the libation, man. Get it in. Anyways, after CM Punk says all this, Logano Paul comes out. I'm humble. Logan Paul comes out. He basically says that he beat AJ Styles at WrestleMania 41, so if anything, he should have a chance to win a championship. And you know what? Honestly, at this point, it is what it is. Let's read this chat real quick. The Ziggler fan, thank you so much for your support. He sends in a 5. He says, hey, chill on the Ziggler slander. I wish Dolph was main eventing Raw instead of the talentless charisma vacuums they have through this product. That's absolutely facts. I 100% agree with you. See, I brought up that Dolph Ziggler could have been a perennial world champion because he can. Everyone in today's age, guys, is a jobber. I'm sorry. If tomorrow, I might do this actually when I go to school tomorrow, okay? Let me read this chat as well. Jay should never have a world title again. By the way, yes, of course he shouldn't. Absolutely not. But here's the thing. Jey Uso winning a world championship gives you the understanding that any other upper mid-card guy with any type of talent would 100% be a world champion in today's era. It's not even comparable. Everyone used to make fun of people like when Dean Ambrose or even Big Dog Roman or, people like a John Morrison, they call him a jobber, right? Jeff Hardy, they say it was an overrated, upper card, mid card guy, whatever. But in all honesty, if those people were in today's era, they would be perennial world champions and I would 100% support it. You're telling me that Dolph Ziggler is not better than Jey Uso? Come on. Donation here from D. Thank you so much for your support. Mr. H is everywhere but Gorilla talking about health. Meanwhile, every show is sponsored by Wingstop, Slim Jim, and Snickers. Exactly. But we're supposed to be learning about health from Triple H. What business does Triple H have in the White House? What is Triple H going to do in the White House? He can't book a WWE show, but he's in the White House signing off on things and talking to the president. What business does he have in the White House? We're good. We're good. We're good. Let's move on. Logan Paul basically says that Paul Heyman comes out, he comes out with Bonito Breaker, and Logan Paul defends himself and basically says that, he's basically out there because he wants a World Heavyweight Championship, and he believes that he's next in line, and so does all of New Mexico, who is too broke to get a Ferrari, which I thought that was a pretty funny line from Logano Paul. Another donation here. Thank you, Nicholas Johnson, for the support. He says Triple K has killed WWE as a lifelong fan. Yes, he absolutely has. We have officially acknowledged it at this point. We just have to get through it, guys. Triple H has ruined the company. We're going to get back to him in a second. But anyways, the segment ends with Logan Paul brawling with a bunch of jobbers. And then afterwards, you know what I'm saying? They make you think that he's going to turn face ultimately for him to later on the night side with the Vision. Another donation here. X Sabre says, triple fraud getting main eventers out of the retirement home while our future talent are jobbing out in catering. But let Papa H cook. Exactly. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Guys, let me ask you something, right? When you see the 16-man challenge to determine who John Cena is going to fight in his final match, would you rather have the fans pick who John Cena is fighting? Would you rather have John Cena pick who he is fighting? Or would you rather have a 16-man meaningless jobber tournament for the number one contenders? Remember the chicken tenders. You get a contender. You get a contender. You get Popeyes. You get KFC. You get McDonald's. You get Chick-fil-A. And you're a special one. I'm going to make you a homemade one myself. Everything is about tenders and chicken tenders and contenders. Tired of tenders, man. Get in my face with that nonsense. What is this here? Channel blowing up, bro. Thank you, Cool Kid 2K4, for your support, bro. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. But at the end of the day, it's unacceptable. We have now acknowledged the fact that John Cena's retirement tour has been a disaster, guys. And I'm going to John Cena's final match in Washington. And I am going to admit to you, the only reason I'm going is because it's John Cena. It's because it's John Cena. That's it. That's it. If this was any other show, nobody would show up. That show would have record low numbers. Talking about record gate, Stephanie Bucker, come here so I can stare at you weirdly, And then he cuddles Rhea Ripley in the back at Mania 41 in the backstage talking about some, Rhea, you've earned this. You're a legend. You're better than this. Don't be insecure. You did a great job. Get out of my face, man. Get out of my face. Triple H is gosh, man. Anyways, Logan Paul basically brawls with these jobbers, and we get the same people. Can someone explain to me how the landscape has changed when it's the same people main eventing every week? How many times have we seen the collection of these jobbers exactly as I'm putting it? LA Knight, Jey Uso, CM Punkinator, Samuel Zayn before he got sent over to SmackDown to job out to the MFJs, the My Family Jobbers. Samuel Zayn, Pentagon. We then had, The Vision, Braun Breaker, Bronsinho Reed, and Paul Heyman. Something we have to mention with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman literally brought up, hold on, we gotta acknowledge this. AD, you know what I'm saying? My boy Anthony Davis, you know what I'm saying? AD, thank you so much for your support. He sends over a 15 saying, WrestleMania 40 really was the end game because the main character Roman Reigns died, and since then we've been getting in their dreadful phase like the MCU. That's a great way of putting it. I've used that analogy in videos, man, and it's so facts. The end game was literally Mania 40. And you watch the rest of it, and it's just like, it's just a disaster. What was that over there? Sorry, I was looking at something. It's just a disaster. Nick Nemeth fan, thank you so much for your support. He says, I wish Scott D'Amore was booking WWE. Hell, I'd even prefer C. Jackson or the Hater booking these shows over Bald Fraud. They overcharge fans for bad content. Yes. Xavier Bays, I appreciate the support. He says, the only thing that changed tonight is having O'Reilly Auto Parts in the middle of the ring. That is facts, actually. That is true. Now, C-Jax, no gay stuff, but would you? All right, bro. Like, what? I'm not reading that, bro. No, and the answer to that question is absolutely not. I don't care who he faces in DC, just anyone but Gunter. Yeah, I agree with that, bro. If I see Gunter walking down that ramp with his no aura, you know what I'm saying? He's an absolute jobber. No, just that's a no for me. I'm sorry to be that guy, but that's what it is. Another thing I have to mention, you guys, if you watch Raw tonight, Paul Heyman walks out at the beginning in the opening segment and he goes, man, Bronson Reed is the man who pinned the OTC. And because he pinned the OTC, he should fight for that world title. Braun Breaker then grabs the mic and says, hey, I'm going to fight for the world title. And what's his name? What's the jobber's name? Brunson Reed just sits back there and goes like, tribal thief, tsunami, tribal thief, tsunami. Like, what are you doing? You're the one who beat Roman Reigns. You should be the one going to fight for world titles. Roman just had the belt for 4 or 5 years. You need to be the one going for a belt, not Braun Breaker sitting back there and just taking your matches from you. Some of the dumbest stuff I've ever seen, man. I'm going to be honest with you. But we move on from the opening segment. It ended with a brawl as per usual. Everything ends with a brawl. You brawl, I brawl, everyone brawls. Brawl, 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 brawl. Brawl, 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 brawl. Anyways, it looks like I missed a little super chat here. Let me click on this here, Mom. Zing Glorious, thank you so much for your support. He says, WCW kid here. I haven't watched WWE since 2001, but as a big New Japan Pro Wrestling / AEW fan, I got to say I love your rants. Thanks for not grifting. Cheers. Thank you so much for your support. And as always, your boy's always going to give it to you straight, man. So that's the deal. We then move on. Stephanie Vaquer and Nicholas, Nikocado Avocado, Nikki Bella, they fight against Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. Can someone please tell me what was accomplished in this match? Nothing is accomplished in any of these matches. That is why these shows suck. Do you understand how bad that you have to be? Let me tell you this for a second. Hold on. Let me read these donuts first, and then we're going to get back to what I'm going to say, because what I'm about to say is a shocker. This isn't even wrestling. It's high school drama with a budget. Yes, that's pretty much accurate information. Thank you so much for your support, by the way. Let me read that name. Sorry about that. I think I got it. I think I glitched out there for a second. Sorry, guys. It's that's keep me Tel Aviv, I think it was, or keep me to live. Keep me to live, I think it was. Thank you so much for your support. Now let's read this next one here as well before I get into what I'm going to say. Why didn't LA Knight join the Vision and actually make them relevant? He hates Punk versus Knight at Mania for the world title. That could have been a decent feud, but you have Triple H and AI booking. Why would you get Triple H and AI booking for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Let's take another libation. Anyways, let me explain something to you guys. Every single week, do you understand how bad that you have to be? Raw started off with 6 million global viewers on Netflix for Raw. How are you now in October, or November, I should say? I'm losing track of the months because of how bad the shows are. We are now in November. We're about to get Thanksgiving. We're about to get bok. And you're telling me that in November, we are witnessing viewership that's struggling to get 2.4 million on average? You have lost 3.6 million viewers. How can you defend this? What is the defense for this? Please, can someone in the chat, if you love this product, and you really do, I want you to tell me how much you love the product, how much you need the product, how much you respect the product, and how much you are proud of the product. Because there's no way that you can be that way. I'm sorry. Now, let's look at the next segment. I said Stephanie Vaquer and Nicole Bella versus Roxanne and Raquel Rodriguez. Nothing was accomplished by this match. We might as well move on. The only thing I can acknowledge with this is the fact that next week we're going to get Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez for the World Championship, and that is a new and fresh match that we haven't seen before, so I am actually looking forward to that match. I am also looking forward to seeing the Kabuki Warriors versus Charlotte and Alexa Bliss for the women's tag belts. These are matches that are actually unique and new, and we haven't seen them. So therefore, they're actually pretty exciting to me, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm actually looking forward to that. But this match was a bunch of nothing. A bunch of bad execution, choreographed moves, and obviously there was a bunch of botches. The botch that happened with Stephanie Vaquer was running back and forth off the ropes, and she tries to hook onto Raquel and like grab her like by the head, you know what I'm saying, get her in a DDT, and it just didn't look good. It looked really bad, but that's not the point. Let's move on. We're good. You know what I'm saying? We then had El Grande Americano versus Pentagon. Before we get into this match, have you guys heard about what happened with El Grande, aka Ludwig Kaiser, and Tiffany Stratton, bro? Because I saw some video where Ludwig Kaiser was messing around with some like a Spanish announcer or journalist for WWE, and now I guess they're dating. So Tiffany Stratton and Ludwig Kaiser are done. I saw someone on Twitter basically say they're like, Tiffany Stratton's title reign isn't the only thing that ended this weekend, and I was like, well, that's a crazy comment, but I guess it's accurate. So unfortunately that happened for them, you know what I'm saying? Or I guess it's a good thing depending on the way you look at it, you know what I mean? Now, El Grande Americano. Actually, it's funny. You remember when Tiffany Stratton went like, she's like, Charlotte, you're 0-3 in your divorces. It's Tiffy time. Yeah, now look at the time. Let's check the clock. Anyways, at this point, after Saturday Night Main Event, Drew should go for the IC title. Bomb, BZYT, thank you so much for your support. Protect C-Jax at all costs. Thank you so much, my boy. You know what I'm saying? My guy. El Grande Americano lost to Pentagon. There's not really much to really say about this if we're being realistic about this, okay? Penta is a jobber. El Grande is a jobber. The other dudes next to him, Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, Fish Bait, they're jobbers. So we can basically move on from this. Afterwards, by the way, how long is Penta going to be fighting for the IC title? This dude's been fighting for the IC title since 1874. It's the same stuff. He's going to come out, he's going to job out to Dominic Mysterio, then he's going to act like he's going to contend for it, and he's not going to. It's embarrassing. We then move on. We got a backstage segment, guys, from Jay Yeetmaster and CM Punkinator. They shake hands and they basically talk about how, man, Punk, because you know what Jay Uso's going to do. He gets backstage and it's the same thing that it always is. Punk, I love you, Punk. I know you, Punk. 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. It's the same stuff. They have nothing to say. So that's it. They move on. We had the return of Rey Mysterio. Boyka, boyka. Rey Mysterio is officially back, okay? So that is great news. Your boy Rey Mysterio is one of my favorite wrestlers, of course, because Rey Mysterio is indeed awesome, okay? So obviously we're excited to see him. But at the end of the day, Rey Mysterio showing up does not accomplish anything. Unless he's going to be fighting Cena for the IC title soon in one of Cena's final matches or something like that, or maybe they interact backstage. That would be pretty cool. But is that going to happen, or are we going to get more badly booked shows? Go ahead and place your bets. I have a spoiler for you, not a prediction. We are going to get more bad shows, so there you have it. Dominic Mysterio then says to Rey Mysterio, keep my father's name out of your mouth when Rey Mysterio mentions Eddie Guerrero. So there you have that. Rey Mysterio then hits him with a 619. We can move on. Let me take a sip of this water, though. Okay. Now, let's move forward. We then had Rebecca Lynch. Listen, let me tell you something, right? Becky Lynch is having a garbage Intercontinental Championship reign. It had great steam for like a couple months and everything like that. But of course, as soon as things started to escalate and develop, we have been now saddled with one of the most garbage reigns ever. She is going to lose to Maxine Dupree. And you already know in the commentary, Maxine Dupree can botch 50 moves. Becky Lynch can botch a billion moves. And guess what you're going to hear at the end of that match? That match was a banger. And next week, Maxine's going to rematch Becky, and they're going to put on a banger. And we're going to put on a banger. And we're going to get Dragon Lee for the 50th time versus JD McDonald's, and they're going to put on a banger. Let's read this super chat. AD, thank you so much for your support. Again, here to support the channel. Cena's first opponent was Kurt Angle. Now he's likely facing effing boring Gunther. Roman Reigns, Carmelo Hayes, or CM Punk are better picks. I agree with that. I think that John Cena's final opponent should be Trick Williams. But of course, it doesn't matter what I think. Because Triple H, anytime he sees a black guy getting close to main eventing anything, he immediately comes out of nowhere and says it's not happening. It's not happening. Listen, if you're running a company and you know that John Cena is the biggest wrestler of all time, arguably, at least one of them, right? You have Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, you know what I'm saying? People like that, Undertaker, John Cena, etc. If you have one of those people, right, in their final match, you should pick a very young NXT talent that if you give them this win, they may be winning the IC title along with it, and it will elevate them to a different level. You shouldn't be giving this match to Gunther, who's already been a multiple-time world champion. He's already in his mid to late 30s, and he doesn't show up, and he's not interesting, he doesn't have charisma, and he is not a superstar-level talent. That is all I'm saying. Trick Williams should be his final opponent, in my opinion. Either him, Obafemi, Carmelo Hayes, or maybe Braun Breaker. Those are the only 4 people that should be fighting Cena in his final match, or The Rock. If The Rock shows up, let me give you guys some fantasy booking, okay? Let me tell you this. John Cena, final match. Let's just say that he's fighting Gunther, right? John Cena beats Gunther, and afterwards he grabs the mic. He's getting ready to say his goodbyes to the fans and do his 15 to 20-minute goodbye speech. If it's a miracle! And The Rock comes out. And The Rock says, you thought you were going to leave without me taking your soul. And The Rock comes out there, and the final ditty fights against John Cena for John Cena's final match for his soul and for his career, and Cena fights Rock, bro. And Cena ends up beating The Rock as well. That would be pretty cool. But that's not going to happen. What we're going to get John Cena fighting against Gunther for nothing. And guess what you're going to do? Nothing and like it. Now, yeah. So that's basically it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Okay. Jonathan Cena. Oh, no, sorry, not that. We're not at that part yet. We have to talk about John Cena's video segment he put in for the 16-man tournament. We'll get to that in a second. Rebecca Lynch finishes off her promo basically saying that the only thing New Mexico is famous for is basically Zero. I see you out there, bro. I love you, bro. I see you, Zero. Rebecca Lynch basically gets on the mic. She says that the best thing to come out of New Mexico was the show Breaking Bad, obviously, you know what I'm saying? And that's basically it. I don't know what else there is to say about this segment. Wade Barrett laughed at it. Nobody cares. If Rebecca Lynch loses to Maxine Dupree without defending against AJ Lee for that title, we wasted time. One of the things, CM Punk referenced AJ Lee earlier. He says, thank you to AJ Lee for everything you've done and how you've helped me get this opportunity to be a world champion. Can someone tell me where AJ Lee's been? Huh? Where's AJ Lee at? Everyone's laughing and having fun. CM Punk! CM Punk! CM Punk! Where's AJ Lee? Okay. Thank you. We're good. Now let's move on. The Kabuki Warriors fight against Venom and Lyra Valkyria. Every week, if Bayley comes out one more week with this split personality, we are going to have a problem. This isn't Marvel. I'm tired of seeing Venom come out every week, and one week he's like, AJ, we must fight back against everything. Then the following week he comes back, we are Venom, we are Venom. Stop. Give us good content and tell a great story. Stop with the split personality that nobody cares about. It's not fun. It's not cool. It's dumb. Now, they lose to the Kabuki Warriors. Nobody cares. Let's move on. After this, we get a tag team championship match. Dragano Lee and AJ Styles fight against JD McDonald's and Phineas Balor. This was easily the best part of the night. And honestly, this match was not even great. The match they had like last week or the week before was better than this, but quite frankly, this was still a decent match. This was easily the best part of the night. I was entertained by this. Even though I barely watched it, I was entertained by the start that I saw of it, okay? Number one, Dragon Lee is a great in-ring performer. He is a jobber, and he will likely be released at some point soon, but he does know how to put on good in-ring matches. Let's go back and read this chat. Van Daminator, thank you so much for your support. C-Dex, do you think the final Diddy will ever come back after the fallout with Triple Fraud? Probably. He probably will. At some point when they're cutting checks for $5 million a pop, bro. I think in Saudi, Cena got like $3 million for his match with CM Punk or $4 million or something like that. I'm like, bro, if you pay me $4 million, I'm coming out of retirement. Know that. Unless my knees are broke, I'll come out there with one leg. You know what I'm saying? When Roman Reigns is talking, do workhorses walk like this? If I go out there on one leg and I'm getting paid $4 million, I'm showing up. Heck, I'll lose both legs. You know what I'm saying? I'll blow out both my knees to get that $5 million. Now, we have a tag match. Dragon Lee and AJ Styles retained versus the Judgment Day. At least that's what I'm pretty sure happened. I didn't watch the match fully, so, who knows. But at the end of the day, I genuinely thought this match was good. I mean, the stuff I saw from it was entertaining. Sheamus and Dominic Mysterio got involved, so that was kind of cool. I guess they're alluding to the fact that Dominic Mysterio will likely play a role, with Sheamus going forward. So maybe they might tie in a Sheamus situation, and maybe we get Sheamus versus John Cena. So we'll see what happens with that. It'll be a nice little callback. I was heartbroken as a kid when John Cena lost his WWE Championship to Sheamus, bro, on that random TLC. Like, I think it was in 09, I think it was, man. That was really heartbreaking. So we'll see if they do that again. Okay. We then had John Cena's video segment. Again, I want to ask you guys in chat something seriously, okay? I don't know if I can read all the super chats, guys. Can I do that on this? Let me see, because I'm streaming on my phone right now. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. What happens if I click, okay. What if I click this button right here? Will this let me see everything? No, yeah, I can. I have to read them as they come. I can't go back and read them, unfortunately. I should have done something different. Yeah, I read the last one, though. I think we're good. Okay. The way Sheamus won was hilarious. Yeah, no, I'm not going to lie. The Sheamus being out there was actually really funny. It was a really fun moment. I'm not going to lie. Anyways. Oh, yes. Breaking news. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Breaking news. Okay, you want to stay tuned for this for what I'm about to say, because I'm pretty sure I saw this like right before I started streaming. Let me look at this up and make sure this is actually accurate information. Yes, it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let me read the super chat first, and we're gonna read this. Christopher A99, thank you so much for your support. He says, I wouldn't be surprised if Doink the Clown wins the title at this point. I said I would eat dog food if Drew lost, and I did. Alpo, it tastes good on rice. I remember you from the other night, bro. Hopefully that dog food was good. Okay, let's look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. Codarius Rodington has just confirmed his next WWE contract will be his final contract, which means that, in other words, to make this simplified, Codarius Rodington will be retiring whenever I think his new contract is slated to maybe start next year or the year after, but in the bottom line, Cody Rhodes has like 4 or 5 years left, guys, and he is retiring. That is basically what he's saying here, okay? He's done within the next few years. That is what he has officially said, and that is likely what's going to happen. So, wow, that is breaking news, guys. Cody Rhodes says that his next WWE contract will be his last. So that means that he's probably got a few more years, maybe 3 or 4 years left in the tank, most likely, and that's going to wrap it up. Wow, man. Yeah, okay. Well, that's that. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that at the end of the day. If we're being realistic with ourselves, I'm not going to celebrate that the dude's retiring, but man, It's going to be a great thing when I don't have to sit here and listen to libations every episode. So quite frankly, this may not be a bad thing. Cody Rhodes has honestly served his purpose for what WWE needs. He is a libation master. He is a doctor of libations. He is libation station, if you will. But at the end of the day, he sucks. I'm sorry, but he just sucks, okay? I'm sorry to be that guy, but he is a glorified mid-carder pretending to be a main eventer, and that's not going to fly in the way that I envision a great WWE. So that's the way that I see it. Okay, Cody Rhodes is a jobber, and we have to move on. Unfortunately, when you come out every week and you come out there with your microphone and your trench coat talking about some, I respect you, I love you, I appreciate you, Kevin Owens. What do you want to talk about? Stop. Put the mic down, take the trench coat off, and start wrestling. Let's move on. Let's look at the next thing that happened on this Raw tonight, okay? I already addressed John Cena had a segment. He had a little video package that came together basically talking about how he's going to have 16 dates. And he's got the 16 dates and the 16, the teen. Got a 16 date. Anyways, you know what I'm saying? John Cena's got 16 dates left, and that's basically the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. He's got 16 men fighting to see who fights him in his last match. It is what it is. At this point, if we're all being realistically honest about this, we all know that John Cena should be picking his final opponent or the fan should be picking his final opponent. Nobody wants to see Gunther. I'm sorry. I already said this before. He's already been a two-time world champion. Why is a two-time world champion beating Cena in his final match? What left do they have to prove? You know what I'm saying? Like, we already know Gunther's not that guy. He's not going to be a superstar. Because you look at it, right? Because we're basically at the end. I still do have to review the main event segment, so we'll get to that in a second. But I just want to say this about John Cena still. We have a situation like this, okay? John Cena is the last of a dying breed because even though let me see. Sorry, this is a couple of super chats came in here. AD, thank you so much for your support. He says I can't stop thinking about Cody's retirement and Punk. Yeah, I would do a Drew impersonation tonight, but my voice is kind of hurting, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. The first 4 men announced, and they're all over 6,000 years old. That's so facts. Yeah, no, I would love to do a Drew. I know people are saying I can't stop. I can't do it though because it's just like. I don't know. My voice is. I can't stop thinking about Punk, and I can't stop thinking about Cody, and I can't stop thinking about Randy. Anyways, let's get into the next thing. Logan Paul comes out for the main event. Logan Paul comes out for the main event. Logan Paul basically pretends as if he's gonna hit or if he's gonna hit Braun and Bronsinho Reed. Afterwards, he decides to go ahead and clutch the brass knuckles, and he decides to go ahead and punch CM Punk in the side of the head. And he's now a part of the Vision. I know you guys left it in the chat. Thank you so much for your support, guys. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. I respect you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much. Okay. What does this say here? Let me see this here. Logan Paul, yeah, he does that, and that's the end of the show. Nothing happened on Raw tonight, guys. I try telling you every week. Nothing happens. We have to understand, every single time that we get into these episodes, we know nothing's happening. Why is Triple H telling us that the landscape has changed when nothing has changed? And outside of this, hey, my boy Colin, myself, sent me a donut. You know what I'm saying? My name is Colin, too. He says, hey, Triple H is trying to be Vince McMahon, but doesn't want to do Vince McMahon's work. That's perfectly said. That's perfectly said. Triple H wants to... This is... By the way, guys, go sub to BC Amplified on YouTube. He is phenomenal, and he calls it out exactly like it is, and he tells you some straight-up facts. He said a really good line one time. He basically said that Triple H wants to play the role of Vince McMahon without doing the work of Vince McMahon. And there's not a more true statement than that, bro. BC Amplified, sit back, relax while BC spits the facts, bro. It's as simple as that. He's spitting facts. Triple H wants to be known as a Vince McMahon. He wants to be the poster child, and he wants to have his face on the podcast and the interviews, and he's in the White House, and he's doing this, and he's doing that. But he won't sit back and actually book a good show. Unacceptable, man. But yes, Logan Paul is now part of the Vision. So I'm going to give you not a prediction or an opinion. I'm going to give you a spoiler. War Games this year is going to be meaningless. Because already looking at it now, guys, you know, let's just say hypothetically, right, that the War Games teams are Romano, Jay Yeatmaster, CM Punkinator, Jimmy Uso, and LA Knight. Let's say that that's the 5 team for the faces. And for the heels, you have Brunson, Branito, Logano, maybe Austin Theory, and Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns has beaten Brock Lesnar before, multiple times. He's beaten Logan Paul. He's already better than Braun Breaker, just off the, you know what I'm saying, the presence and the storytelling and just the way that it's booked, his career, his longevity, the way that he is. He should be beating everyone between Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. He already beat Bronson Reed, so that's that. And then Austin Theory. Who is Austin Theory beating? Is Austin Theory actually, and he's not even beating Jay. He got pinned by Jay Uso this year in 5 seconds. Likes, reviews, I see you. My boy Leg, my bait, my guy. I appreciate you, bro. But still, yeah, wretched main event with MJ. That's a good one, bro. Anyways, listen. Austin Theory got pinned by Jay Uso this year in 5 seconds. Can you explain to me how a team of Roman, Jay, Punk, Knight, and Jimmy Uso is going to lose to a team with Brock Lesnar, Austin Theory? I have a theory. I think Austin Theory is a jobber. That's my theory. Braun Breaker, Brunson Reed, and who else was in that group? I can't, Logan Paul. You're telling me that team of five is going to beat the five faces? It's unacceptable. And what is accomplished by the faces winning? Roman should be wanting to be world champion, right? He should be wanting to be at the top of the mountaintop like he was before, right? So why is he fighting a meaningless War Games match for the second year in a row? You can't make this up. This War Games match is already dead on arrival. That's step one. Step two is the fact that this War Games match, if it does actually happen, we got a super chat here. 3 Diglets. I remember you from Friday as well. Thank you for your support. Romano Reigns and Jacob Fatu are the only stars in WWE. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. It's only Roman Reigns. Let's just be real. Jacob Fatu, we're good. You know what I'm saying? We're good. You're not a star. Chill out. You know what I mean? Anyways, that War Games match is dead on arrival. And if you actually are sitting back here and you're looking at what we're watching here, which is basically going to be a 5v5 of those competitors, who wants to see that for War Games? Are you spending $5,000 for seats to go see this at War Games? You know what I'm saying? Who's paying for this? You're mortgaging your house. You're mortgaging credit cards. You're like, it's embarrassing. If you are spending anything over, because some of the people who are showing up in the front, like 3 or 4 rows, are paying tens of thousands of dollars to watch what? To watch what? To watch Austin Theory tell you he has a theory that he's going to get released next year? To watch Brunson Reed hit a tsunami? To watch Branito Breaker spear Jey Uso for the 19th time? What? I'm just trying to understand what we're paying for, guys. I don't get it. I'm really looking at this card. I'm like, what could you possibly be paying for? You have people mortgaging their credit cards. Their kids are eating Lucky Charms for dinner for the 15th straight day so their parents can go out and watch Jey Uso yeet. Unacceptable, man. Unbelievable. Now, let's move on from this. Let me start reading some chat. Before I read chat, I just want to acknowledge a couple things. Number one, this episode of Raw is likely going to be one of the lowest rated and lowest reviewed Raws of all time on Netflix, which exactly what it should be. Sorry, I missed a super chat. Your reviews are way more entertaining than this whole years of trash that Triple Five has been bringing out. Keep up the amazing job. The Sean Otley experience, thank you so much for your support, and I really appreciate that comment, man. It means a lot, bro. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for your support. Appreciate that. But yes, the War Games build sucks. One thing I want to mention before I start reading the chat, and we're going to continue, okay, because we're not going anywhere. But I just want to mention this. After this Raw comes out, do not quote me on this, but I would not be surprised if this is either tied for the worst viewership on Raw Netflix history or at least within 100K of it. That's all I'm saying. I'm just going to say it right now because this was a really empty and bad Raw. Thank you, Colin, again for more support. He says, in the past 3 years, what stars of Triple H has built other than failed experiment Jey Uso? Yes, he's built no stars. Jey Uso isn't even a star. Jey Uso is such a jobber, dude. And I like Jey Uso, but he's a jobber. Come on. Ever thought becoming a Twitch streamer? I might actually have to start that soon. You know what I'm saying? Get some monetization over there and just stream on multiple platforms at once. You know what I'm saying? More live streams. I sent to Super Chat. Thank you so much, Mr. Hanky. Thank you so much for your support, bro. I appreciate that, man. The Super Chat's coming in, man. On my phone format, I can't read them all in an order, but I have to get a moderator or something to help me out with that. I'll probably get some mods at some point, but yeah, we'll figure that out. Yeah, anyways, as I was saying, this is going to end up being one of the worst Raws of all time. The final rating that I would give this Raw, and you know, listen, here's the thing about Raw. Raw's average is, hold on, thoughts on Emma moving up from the main roster to NXT? Yeah, bro, good one, man. Bring back Raw is War, especially with less families around. Yes, that is something that should be happening, actually. Sorry about that, bro. Anyways, I think I missed another one. Another dono. Thank you, Prance5237. Appreciate the support. He says, hey, what did I miss? I only care for CM Punk. You missed nothing. CM Punk got speared at the end of the show and beat up by Logan Paul, and that's it. So there you have it. Sorry. All right, let's see. Nick Nemeth fan, another dono. He says, I don't see color. Triple H. He can't see talent either. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? That's the go-to. Triple H can't see talent if it's slapped in his face. He sucks. Now, let's continue to go through this, man. Let's look at the aftermath from Raw. I want to look at WWE's Twitter and see if I missed anything extra because I know for a fact I didn't miss anything. Let's be honest with ourselves. Nothing happens on these shows, so what are we missing, right? You know what I'm saying? Like let's be real with ourselves. CM Punk came out and did nothing. Let's see what the main event, what happened after the show. Logan Paul comes out and rips a fan sign. Nobody cares. That's another thing. Why does every Raw end the same? Every single Raw ends the same. Every week it is a brawl. And this week, Jey Uso and Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are going to brawl. And next week we're going to brawl. And next week we're going to brawl and 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 brawl. Everything is a brawl. It's boring, it's uninteresting, and it's unexciting television. Why would anybody want to sit down for 2.5, 3 hours to watch Braun Breaker and Jey Uso brawl for the 97th time in the span of 5 months? Thank you. Thank you. We're good. Now, at the end of the show, after the show is over, it's officially been confirmed a couple things. Number one, guys, unfortunately, Damian Priest, another breaking news, guys, we have another banger. Joseph Tessitore is about to announce that we're going to have another banger. And the following week after this, we're going to have another banger. And the following week after that, we're going to have another banger. Damian Priest and Rusev are going to be fighting next week in the Last Time Is Now tournament in the first round to see which one of them advances to the next round to fight against Jonathan Cena at Saturday night's Lame Event in December. So Damian Priest and Rusev is the second match that was confirmed. The other match that was confirmed, if you guys didn't catch it, was Sheamus and Shinsuke Nakamura. This is all part of the first round matches that will take place on Raw in Boston next week in part one of the John Cena 16-man tournament that will last about 4 weeks, okay? So again, let me ask you guys a question here, right? So you have 4 people already announced out of 16, you know what I'm saying, for this John Cena retirement tour. Let's go through this list of the 4 names we have so far. Damian Priest, Jobber. All rise for the Outlaw. All rise for the Jobber. Rusev. Rusev has not been relevant since Rusev Day. Rusev Day took place 10 billion years ago, and nobody cares about it anymore. Sheamus. Let me guess, Sheamus, because guess what we're going to do, guys? I was just talking about this again. Guess what Sheamus is going to do? Banger after 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 banger. Shinsuke Nakamura. Really? Shinsuke Nakamura? Okay. Hey, okay. Sure. Shinsuke Nakamura is one of the 4 people that we as fans really want to see fight John Cena at 50 years old. Yeah, man. We really want to see that, bro. For sure. Triple H understands us so well, man. For sure, bro. Let's see what other matches have been confirmed here, man. Okay, so that looks like that's all the matches we have for Raw. I'm assuming on SmackDown we're going to get some new stuff announced for what's going to happen on SmackDown, so that's great for that, but nobody cares. Let's see this here. A fat guy says, I love your vids. Comments on Dean/John Moxley as a wrestler. I think that Dean Ambrose/Jonathan Moxley now is awesome. We all like Dean Ambrose, bro. Okay. 4 tag team matches on one show. Well, of course. Why wouldn't they do 4 tag team matches, man? They have nothing to book. I mean, come on, guys. You know, why do you guys not want 15 tag matches? Come on. Why would you not want 15 tag matches? Anyways. The gap in how Roman, Punk, and Cody are booked to a Drew, a Randy, or people below them is so big it makes Randy's and Drew looks like bums. Yeah, that's about it. That's actually exactly what it is. Thank you so much for your support, by the way. The final boss. Slap that arm. You know what I'm saying? That actually kind of hurt a little bit, actually. You know what I'm saying? I got to chill out with that rock energy. I bet you next week that Logan Paul going to come and say a whole lot of nothing, and the ending is going to end with a brawl and have LA Knight or Roman come out. It's the same formulaic stuff. I'm going to give you guys not another prediction, as Paul Heyman would say. This is a spoiler. Either next week or the Raw afterwards, it will end in a brawl where Jey Uso and CM Punk and Ada are getting beat up by the Vision for the 15 billionth time. And guess who's going to come out? OTC. 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 And Roman Reigns will come out and he will help them, and he will be officially signed now to help with CM Punk. The same guy that Roman Reigns was just feuding with at WrestleMania this year for a favor because they're grown men arguing over favors. I have no more libations. I have no more libations, man. We got to get a new water bottle. Thankfully, I got another one in the back. You know what I'm saying? I got a spare. Your boy brings spare libations. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I don't know who I'm thanking for that water, but, thank God. You know what I'm saying? You guys ever see the New Day when they say, thank God? The New Day are hilarious. Yeah, where are the New Day, by the way? In catering. Let's move on from that. What's going to happen, guys, this is apparently allegedly the teams that we are, you know what I'm saying, we are allegedly going to get for War Games, okay? Let me go through this in a second. What does it say? Levi Cash, thank you so much for your support. He sends over a 5. He says, when is the last time a champion didn't main event a tag match on Raw or SmackDown? Good question. I can't tell you that. You know what I can't tell you. The Mania promo tells us who they care about. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, let me tell you something. Because the Mania promo, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong in chat, okay? Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman, Paul Levesque, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, and I think that was it. There may have been one more, but it may have been one or two more, actually. Was LA? No, LA Knight definitely did not make the LA Knight. No. I think that was it. That was just those 4, right? Wasn't that 4? Let me check the chat and make sure that was it. Yeah, that was it. That looks like it was it. Okay. So there was only 4. 4 jobbers, Paul Levesque, Paul Heyman. That's all that was in the promo. That lets you know that, number 1, Codarius Rodington is not losing that championship anytime soon until at the earliest Mania. The fact that he's being advertised for WrestleMania 42 lets you know that he's keeping that championship and he's going to continue to ride on out with that. So there you have it. Cody Rhodes is going to keep on winning. Thank you so much. Jay's Rising 1352, thank you so much for your support. He sends over a 5. He says, at this point, Raw and SmackDown are just two shows on Rewind. That's why I don't watch anymore. Love your videos, though. Thank you so much, and I thank you for tuning in and keeping up with your boy. With your boy. Shout out, man. Here for some more triple fraud. What's it called? Augustin Torres, thank you so much for your support, bro. Appreciate the 5. Thank you for the love, for the care. We have a massive 20 spot, okay? Ascension Beron, 9305. Thank you for your support. I appreciate your support. I love your support. I care for your support. He sends over a big 20. He says 2 things. Number 1, thanks for the fire content. Appreciate you. Appreciate the support. He says, stay on Triple Fry's neck. Absolutely. Always. Can we get a I love you? I respect you. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got for your boy. Of course, man. Thank you so much for your support, bro. I appreciate that for sure. For sure. Anyways, let me tell you guys this. This is the War Games teams, okay? This is the rumored War Games teams, okay? Now, number 1, let me write this down for the faces, okay? Let me know if you guys are interested in this. I'm going to say team by team. Let's start with the heels. Let me know if you guys are down for War Games. This is the heel team with the vision. Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Brock Lesnar, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. Just off the heel team alone, are you guys excited for that? I want to know in the chat, how do you guys feel about that as your heel team for War Games? Is that exciting to you? Is that cool? Let's talk about that. Okay, we have a no. We have a yes. We have a no. We have an L. We have a mid. We have no. No. Hell no. We have another no. We have an L. We have no's. More no's. Nope. No. Hell no. No. Trash. No. Mid. No. L. No. Everyone is pointing to it saying no. Okay, that's the heel team. Now, do you guys want to hear the face team? Let me catch this donut real quick. It says, unless it's Reigns Punk run will be predictable. I guess so. Yeah, it probably will end up being predictable after this War Games. But anyways, that's for the final boss, by the way. Thank you for your support. Let's talk about the faces, okay? This is your face team, guys, for War Games, by the way. Allegedly, this is what it is. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, CM Punk, Los Angeles Knight, and Jimmy Uso. Are you guys excited with that face team? Let me ask you guys in the chat. Is that a good face team for a War Games match? Okay? That's the faces. We already said the heel team. That's the faces. What do you guys think about that, bro? Mid, no. Delete. No. Trash, no. Delete, no. Mid, no. Everything is a no. No. Mid, no. 40 and no. No. Delete, no. Makes no sense. No. No, thank you. Oh, that's hilarious, bro. Yeah, so overall, it looks like nobody is actually supportive of what's going to happen at War Games. But again, as we continue to analyze this, this is what we are going to get, guys. It's only a matter of time. This is coming. There's nothing we can do about it but sit back and enjoy it. So, unfortunately, that's your War Games. And can someone in the chat please tell me, if those are the War Games teams, what is going to be accomplished at War Games this year? What is accomplished by whoever wins this match? Nothing happens. You know what I'm saying? Nothing happens, okay? Let's see this. Got a big dono here from my boy Nick. Okay, thank you for your support, Nick. He sends over a 10. He says, do you think that the first two matches for the Cena tournament were kind of underwhelming? Absolutely. Gunter probably going to win. WWE should just build a feud instead of a meaningless tournament. Love your videos, by the way. Thank you so much, Nick, for your support. I really appreciate that. And yes, I think that John Cena's, the tournament people so far, we've already have 1/4 of the tournament has been announced, and every single one of them has been an absolute no. Absolute no. That's another thing as well. Let me ask you guys this, because now we have the chat. I'm fully engaged with the chat. I'm going to ask you guys another question. So far, we know that there's 16 opponents for John Cena in this tournament to find out who's going to be the one guy who's going to fight him, okay? Let's go through this. Do you guys think that for John Cena's final match, okay, let's read this chat real quick. Colin sends over another 5. I appreciate you. He says, so they didn't even have a build for Survivor Series, just like Mania and SummerSlam, but he rather takes vacations and be with celebrities. Yes. Triple H, all he would rather do is sit on vacation and hang out with celebrities or go do on podcasts rather than actually booking a good and engaging build to a PLE. Remember when premium live events and pay-per-views were actually $60 to $70? Yo, 6, 7. Anyways, PLEs actually used to be $60 to $70. When I was a kid, I used to have to beg my mom, please, mom, can you buy me this pay-per-view? Please, dad, please get me this pay-per-view. Please get me this show. And now you look at it. Back then, I was paying $60 for WrestleMania 28. You know what I'm saying? I was paying $70 for amazing shows. Like a SummerSlam. Oh, was it 08 or 09 that had a banger SummerSlam? Whatever one that was. Where CM Punk was fighting against The Undertaker and stuff like that at the end with Jeff Hardy was involved. All that stuff. That's what we were paying money for. Now you're paying money for J.D. McDonald's versus CM Punk. Really? Really? Anyways, let me ask you. Oh, yeah, sorry. Let me read this chat real quick. I don't understand why Drew couldn't win the title. Who do you think will take the title from Cody? Probably Roman Reigns. Most likely. They're just going to have to repeat. They have no superstars. No one's ready. True Gonzalez, I see you in the chat. Thank you for your support, bro. You've been here for a while, man. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Okay. Now that we've acknowledged that, for John Cena's tournament of 16 people. Sorry, we got another super chat. Let's take a look at this. 3 Diglets, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you sending over that big old 10. You know what I'm saying? He says Cena's last match has to be Edge or someone meaningful to Cena's career. It can't be anyone on the active roster. That would be foul. Honestly, if it was Edge surprise, I honestly would be down for that. Like, I'm going to be there. If I was there and I saw Edge walking down the ramp to fight Cena one last time, I'd be down with that. I'm not going to lie to you. Even though he's old and he has nothing to do with WWE, I would still be down for that. So, guys, 16 people are in the John Cena final match tournament. These are the first 4 names. You let me know if these are a good first 4. If you want any of these 4 people to fight Cena, okay? Because this is already 1/4 of it. Sorry. Let me go read this comment. Nick Nemethan, thank you so much for sending over the 2. He says Trick and Oba should be on the Raw, not a crypto scammer. Facts. Sheamus, Damian Priest, Rusev, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Are those people, or do you want any of those 4 people to fight John Cena? Do you want any of those 4 people to fight John Cena? That is already 25% of your bracket, by the way. That's 1/4 is already done. That is what you're getting. None of these people we want to fight John Cena. None of them. Yet that is what we got. Do you see how stupid this is? This 16-man tournament is one of the dumbest things that I have ever seen in my life. We have all 4 of these guys right now in their current stages of their career are jobbers. All 4 of them are older or old. It's as simple as that. No one wants to see these guys fighting John Cena in his last match. It's stupid. So already, Triple H has already ruined 1/4 of this tournament. And we haven't even gotten a match yet, and already nearly half of it is already ruined. Do you see what I'm talking about? This is why triple fraud is the reason why wrestling is going to die. It's already dying, but it's going to officially be dead in the water if this dude continues booking, because this is embarrassing. How do you mess this up? The tournament, let me tell you what my tournament would have looked like on Raw. LA Knight, Braun Breaker. I would have brought up Obafemi to Raw, and Obafemi would have fought against either Dominic Mysterio or Sheamus. That would have been my opening 4. That's what have been LA Knight, Braun Breaker, Obafemi, and Sheamus. That would have been the 4 I would have announced tonight. Already off the bat, that's the opening 4 that I would have put in already. Then we get to SmackDown. SmackDown, I would have already put in this. Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, what's it called? What did I already say? I said Melo Hayes, Trick Williams, and then, do I want to do, I guess you have to put Ilya Dragunov because he's a current champion, so they're probably going to have him compete. So I would put in Ilya Dragunov, even though he's an absolute jobber and I wouldn't want to see him anywhere near it. I would put in Ilya Dragunov. And then I guess next, who do you even have on SmackDown? I would put Jacob Fatu, obviously. Jacob Fatu would be there. But you can't do that right now because he's injured. Jacob Fatu. My SmackDown forward would have been Mello, Trick, Ilya Dragunov, and Jacob Fatu. That would have been what I got from SmackDown. And then the following week on SmackDown, the other four that I would have brought in, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, of course. Javon Evans from NXT. Okay. Ethan Page from NXT. And then Joe Hendry. That would have been the next four that I announced. That just so already off the bat, my retirement run, my 16-man bracket is already way better than whatever the heck Triple H has planned. So that's that. Then after this, we would have had to announce the final four. And in this final four, because of the TNA merger, Jeff Hardy, Nick Nemeth, a.k.a. Dolph Ziggler, obviously. Dolph Ziggler. And we're going to go, what would the last two names be? What last two names would I put in here, man? Because I'm not putting in Gunther. I don't want to see Gunther, so we're not even going to waste our time with that garbage. Dolph Ziggler, Jeffrey Hardy, and oof. Who else can you really put in there? You know what I would do? I would have the other person be. Yes, I agree with that. I see what you're talking about. Matt Cardona. Oh, you know what? Rey Mysterio. Sorry, guys. Rey Mysterio. I'm sorry. Rey Mysterio is going in there. And the 16th guy, I would not announce at all. I would not announce him. I would not say who the 16th guy is. But the 16th guy would either be Rock, Edge, and that's it. Rock or Edge. That would be the 16th guy in the tournament, but I would leave it as a mystery. I'd leave it as a vacant logo, and I wouldn't say anything about who the last person is until the final show before Saturday Night's Main Event when they have to find out who's going to fight Cena. That's when I would announce the person. That's what I would do. It can be Chris Jericho too. So my 16th person would either be Rock, Edge, or Jericho. That would be the three. That would be the three that I have. And I wouldn't say if it's either of them. I would just leave it as blank. The 16th dude will be revealed on the final episode of Raw before Saturday Night's Main Event. That's what I would do. Now you look at this tournament. Let me know in the chat what you guys think about this 16-man tournament, okay? This is what I have versus what Triple H has. Triple H has Sheamus, Damian Priest, Rusev, and Shinsuke Nakamura so far. My 16 would be, wow, Matt. Hey, Triple H, bro. The game. Paul Levesque just donated a big old 20. He says, hey, C-Jax, heard you're a big fan of the product. He says, keep watching the show and make sure to buy tickets to see John Cena's last match. Get some WrestleMania front row tickets while you're at it. Hope this helps your expenses. Paul Levesque, this is a general. I'm screenshotting. That is glitch. Sorry, I'm screenshotting this comment though. That is incredible. That is absolutely sensational. What an amazing comment. Amazing comment, bro. That is an S tier super chat. Paul Levesque, thank you so much for donating, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you, bro. That's huge. Listen, Paul. Yeah, that was a generational, man. We got to throw one up. This is awesome. This is awesome. This is awesome. Yeah! What's next? Oh, you already know what's next. You deserve it. You deserve it. Anyways, Triple Fraud, the four people he has so far are Shinsuke Nakamura, Damian Priest, Rusev, and Sheamus. Those are the four people in the 16-person John Cena Battle Royal thing. Okay, so that the tournament to see who's going to fight him. Now, this is my 16 entirely of who I would have. LA Knight, Braun Breaker, Obafemi, Sheamus, Melo Hayes, Trick Williams, Ilya Dragunov. I would have Jacob Fatu, but because he's not available, I guess they'll sub him out probably for Solo Sikoa. Drew McIntyre, Javon Evans, Ethan Page, and Joe Hendry. Jeff Hardy, Dolph Ziggler because of the TNA merger, Rey Mysterio, and the 16th person I would leave as a vacant or a question mark until one of the final shows before Saturday Night Main Event when it's revealed to either be The Rock, Edge, or not Chris Jericho, The Rock or Edge. One of those two. Or Randall Orton. That also works. And that's it. That's my 16, bro. That's the way that I see it. Versus what Triple H is throwing up to us, which is a complete and utter mess. Shout out Paul Levesque, though, for the donor. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, bro. Appreciate that, Doug. That's a big support, man. I thank you so much. For sure. For sure. But yes, that's my 16, bro. Absolutely. even Ronaldo Killings. You could actually put Ronaldo Killings in there, and I honestly I would be kind of down for that, bro. Yo, Ronaldo Killings, bro. Man, that's actually, I don't know, bro. If they put on an actual banger, see, let me tell you something, low key. If the R-Truth contract dispute happened like right now, and R-Truth came back as Ronaldo Killings and dressed as Ron Cena to fight Cena in his last match for the WWE Championship, it's this R-Truth's first time winning the title, and he would be retiring Cena. A lot of people wouldn't like it, but I'm not gonna lie. If that happened, I would not be completely against it. As long as there's some special cameos from like a Jericho or a Rock or an Edge, listen, we're good. You know what I'm saying? I Show Speed is in the match. Whoa, 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 bro! Could you imagine if they have I Show Speed be John Cena's final opponent? Oh my gosh, dude, that's actually possible. That's not good, bro. Bro. I would normally say that there's no chance of that happening, but the way that the show is ran, I don't know. I could see that happening. I could actually see I Show Speed fighting John Cena for his last match. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Sorry about that. I have to drink a sip of this water. Jericho said he's returning to WWE. He did? Really? I've heard rumors that he's going to be returning, but I mean, I don't know if that's going to happen, so it just really depends. Who do you guys? Can I start a poll? Let me see if I can start a poll. I want to see who you guys think is John Cena's best final opponent, bro. Oops, what is that? Can I start a poll, please? Can I start a poll, man? Can I start a poll? Yes or no? I guess not. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, dog. That's huge. That's big time. Let's see. Yeah, no. I don't. Yeah, I don't think I can. Yeah, no, I can't. Wow. That's actually embarrassing, bro. I can't just start a poll, man. Just a real quick poll. You know what I'm saying? I just want to start a poll. I want to see what you guys think. Who do you guys think should be John Cena's last match? That's what I want to know. In the chat, put whoever you think should be John Cena's last match, bro. I want to know what you guys think. And I'm going to read off some of these. Let's see who you guys think should be Jonathan Cena, the Never Seen 17's final match in WWE. Demon Finn Balor, Miz, Kane, Edge. I'm seeing a lot of Edge. Okay. Edge, yeah. All right. Obafemi, okay. We're seeing a lot of Edge, bro. Edge is like the runner. It's between Edge, Obafemi, and it looks like Randall Orton. Those are like the three that I'm seeing the most of. Yeah, Edge. Wow. Edge, Randall, and Mellow Hayes. And wow, that's dang. So we're all on the Edge train. Because me personally, if I had a top three, Edge would be the third or fourth candidate I would have to face him. I would be down with Edge. I would be cool with that. Wow. We're doing Edge, bro. Dang. Okay, well that's it. Everyone's saying Edge. I mean, honestly, that's we can get down with that. Me personally, I would want it to be either Trick Willie, Carmelo Hayes, or Edge. I think that's my three. If a returning Batista at his age, I don't know if he can still go, man. He's been shooting a lot of movies. He has lost weight, though. He's, like, on a big cut now. He's, like, shredded now, you know what I mean? He was already shredded before, but he was, like, buff shredded, you know, like, nearly 300 pounds. Now I think he's, like, lost, like, 50 or 60 pounds, and he's, like, it just, you know, like, there's a slimmer build now because he had to lose weight or whatever. Obafemi, yeah. It looks like Obafemi and Edge are the runaways. Those are the two that I'm seeing the most of, and honestly, I think that's the best way to go about it. The Rock, Dominic Mysterio, I'm so done. Do you guys think Dominic Mysterio is overrated? Because I've had enough of Dominic Mysterio. He hasn't told a good story or cut a good promo in his life. You know what I'm saying? In his life. Okay, in his life. And he hasn't had any great or amazing matches except for maybe like 4 or 5 his whole career, and he's been on the main roster for like 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. 4 or 5 great matches in 5 years is unacceptable. I'm sorry, man. Dominic Mysterio is overrated. We have to go ahead and stop that now. We have to just quit it. It's ridiculous. Knowing Triple H, he would have Jey Uso with Rhea Ripley in his corner beat John Cena for the Intercontinental Championship in his last match. Do you think John Cena versus Dom for the IC title will happen at Survivor Series? Yes, I do. I think that's a match that will happen at Survivor Series, and I think John Cena is going to dethrone Dominico Mysterio, and that's what's going to happen with your boy. Gunther, the ring general, stop. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Stop, okay? Kurt Angle, dude, Kurt Angle showing up for John Cena's last match. How do you guys think they're going to do the entrance? I envision the entrance to be like this, right? You know that one Raw like 2 or 3 years ago when John Cena came out and the whole locker room was like on the stage, like ready to like, shake his hand and be like, yeah, you go, like as he's running down the line type stuff. I think that in John Cena's final match, they should bring in all kinds of legends. JBL, Kurt Angle, Triple H himself should be out there. The Undertaker should be out there. If The Rock can make it, he'll probably be a part of the story. So, I mean, he won't even be able to be in the entrance part. But, people like that, right? Even Seth Rollins coming out in a sling. Roman Reigns standing there on the side. Roman Reigns is too big time for that. He ain't going to do that. You know what I'm saying? But still, like Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Randall Orton, of course. All of those people should be lined up on each side of the ramp. And it should be them waiting and clapping John Cena and giving him the look of approval and the salute, you know what I'm saying, as he's heading down the ramp. Woman and male wrestlers. Everybody, all the all-time greats should be there in attendance, at least in the crowd or on the ramp, cheering him on as he heads down to the ring for the last time. That's the way that I envision his entrance to be, and I think that would be absolutely awesome. I respect you. I love you. Batista returns and destroys John Cena. I mean, hey, man. If that happens, that would be pretty cool. Mustang Devin, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for sending over the five. The five, you know what I'm saying? Kevin Owens. See, Kevin Owens would have been a decent match to explore this year over the summer. You know what I mean? But the problem is that, like, I don't think that Kevin Owens, because of the injury, there's a lot of things that we couldn't do. But I do think if Kevin Owens was a part of John Cena's retirement tour, I do think that besides what Cena did with Punk for that 3 or 4 week span, I think Kevin Owens would have been his second best feud of the year. For sure. I liked so far, John Cena, my favorite feuds of John Cena this year with his final year have been his feud with CM Punk, his feud with Logan Paul, and probably the stuff that he had going for a little while there with with The Rock and Cody for like 2 or 3 weeks. But like by mid-March, the whole story with him and The Rock and Cody had cooled off. Like late March, it was already over. But the 3 week span heading after that heel turn were pretty peak. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty amazing. At least what he was doing was amazing. I don't know about, I think it was, I already predicted though. I did predict. I went back and saw like part of my Elimination Chamber review. When that heel turn happened, in my video, I literally said that this heel turn will go nowhere and it will end off not paying off and it will be a massive disaster under Triple H's booking. Lo and behold, you saw what happens. I told you guys, if I tell you that grass is going to turn into cheese, go find some crackers. Your boy is not lying. Your boy will not lie, bro. I'm not lying. I can tell when Triple H is about to bomb something, and I'm right on that at least 90% of the time at this point. We all are. We all are. We all know this dude's gonna botch. It is what it is. But yeah, it is what it is. Missed a super chat. Let me see if I missed a chat here. Let me make sure I didn't miss nothing, man. Let me go back and check this out. Nick Nemeth and Matt Cardona. I don't know, man. I don't get the hype on Matt Cardona. I don't really pay a lot of attention to the indies, of course, but like, bro, be real with yourself. Why are we actually picking Matt Cardona to be one of the final matches for Jonathan Cena, man? Come on, bro. Let's actually be real with ourselves for 2 seconds. Why is Matt Cardona even mentioned in this opportunity, bro? It's Matt Cardona, not Jeff Hardy. We're not. If you can pick one person from a TNA merger or from some other company to come over, you're not picking Matt Cardona. He's not even a top 15 option you're picking. You know what I'm saying? This is actually a good question for the chat. If you guys could pick a person from any promotion, AEW, New Japan, TNA, to come fight John Cena for his last match, who are you picking? I'm picking MJF. I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm going MJF. If I can pick anyone from any promotion, I'm picking MJF for sure, bro. Will Ospreay. See, that would actually be a banger, like a legitimate banger. Bonnie Blue, bruh. MJF. MJF, Kenny Omega. If this was 5 years ago or 10 years ago, I would have said Kenny Omega probably. But now, come on. MJF, yeah, a lot of MJF. John Moxley would be pretty decent as well. Yeah, MJF, I feel that. Okada, Kazuchika Okada versus John Cena. That would be a pretty solid match. I'd be down for that. I'd be good with that. I think MJF though is the one. CJX, when are you going to turn babyface? Listen, I'll tell you this right now, right? Let me tell you guys this. Everyone who's in the stream right now, man, listen up. If WWE can have a good build to the Rumble, a good Rumble itself, and just consistently solid shows leading in and out of the shows, the PLEs and Saturday Night Main Events leading up to Mania 42, I will likely be much more positive towards the company. They need to show me that when all the chips are against the table, John Cena's gone, The Rock's not there, Roman's part-time, Brock's on his way out, Cody's done in a few years, Punk's done in a few years, Rollins is done in a few years. If they can muster up a great Mania 42 season with their backs against the wall, and I mean a great Mania 42 season, not as good as Mania 40 season, but at least like 80% of that, I will actually be positive towards WWE. If they can give me 4 to 5 great months next year to open the year, I will give them props. But is that going to happen, guys? No. We're not getting that, bro. Let's be honest with ourselves, bro. Stop it. You know, if you really think that we're gonna actually sit here and get like a great 5 month reign, it's just not happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real with ourselves, bro. It's not that's not gonna happen, bro. But you know what? If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with it. Remember what Triple H always says. If you don't like the product, he will tell us to go F ourselves and we are not real fans. That is true. When Triple H in the Mania 41 season, when fans were upset about the lackluster and garbage product and the bad build, he tells the fans to F themselves. Please explain that. Paul Levesque with another dono. Speaking of Paul Levesque telling fans to screw themselves, Paul Levesque says, trust the process, C-Jax. You should learn a thing or two from LA Knight. I don't think I want to learn anything from LA Knight right now, man. After LA Knight has officially jobbed out for 19 billion years, we're good. You know what I'm saying? We're good. Let's just chill out with that. We're absolutely fine. You know what I mean? Yeah, Paul Levesque is back again with another dono, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to give him his respect where it is. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would say, yeah. I mean, listen, if they can give us a great Mania season next year, we'll see. We'll see. But we have to get a new star, guys. We have to get a new star. We need a new star. The only actual superstars that have defined an entire generation of wrestling that have done a great job in their role as the top superstar are Hulk Hogan, guys like Ric Flair, Jonathan Michaels, Undertaker, Rock, Austin, Randall. Even though Randall wasn't never the guy, but he was always one of the guys, but he was not the guy. Cena was the guy, so Cena's another one, of course. Even a superstar level of like a Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is always up there. And then obviously now we have Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has been the guy and the superstar who's gotten a lot of people, including myself, back into wrestling over the last 5 years. That is the last superstar because you need megastars and superstars. You cannot float by with guys like, for example, if you have Braun Breaker and Oba Femi become like a star, that's not going to cut it. We need superstars. And until you get it, because even with Cody, they put the belt on him at Mania 40. They gave him a massive story. They gave him a great story. They gave him a great build, and they put the belt on him, and it fell flat, and it died. It died. 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 So, I don't know. You got to be really careful who you pick to be that superstar. Because do you need them? Here's what WWE needs to do, right? You need to have someone, because here's the thing that's actually very, very worrying about it, though, is that the fans just don't have interest in what's happening. Like Cody Rhodes, after WrestleMania 39, he lost to Roman Reigns, obviously, right? Everyone was expecting him to win that year. He lost. For a year, he somehow maintained his relevance, even though he wasn't really that relevant late 2023. I mean, he was just kind of the only top star they had on Raw besides Rollins, so obviously he had to be relevant by proximity. But Cody Rhodes lost the match, came back the following year and won the match at Mania 40, and a lot of people allegedly wanted him to do it. But when he did it, a couple months later, his reign was already dead. The fans lose interest in this stuff. It takes a very special storyline and a very special wrestler and performer to be able to generate great stories, generate great matches, generate great promos, and actually have you invested and engaged in them and buying their merchandise. When their entrance happens, you get a feeling, you get chills, you get goosebumps like Mama Rose. It's a very special wrestler who actually has to be able to do that. And Roman Reigns, I don't think he's on the level of a Cena or a Rock or even an Austin, obviously, guys like Undertaker, etc. However, what Roman Reigns did is every single time he was in a story, you cared, you were invested, and you were likely very entertained. And on top of that, whoever he was feuding with was elevated. Roman Reigns had people thinking that Samuel Zayn should win a championship in main event WrestleMania. That's how good Roman Reigns was. He had jobbers. That fans wanted to win world titles because of how great he was. So yeah, there's this comment. Yo, C-Jax, am I the only one who is sick and tired of people saying Braun Breaker is the future, who's going to be main eventing WrestleMania? He's a jobber and doesn't deserve a main event. No, he doesn't. I think he's a jobber as well. Braun Breaker is not a main eventer, in my opinion. I don't think he has it in him. He just doesn't have it, in my personal opinion. That's the way that I see it. Maybe I'm seeing something wrong. Maybe something changes, but that's just not how it is right now. C-Jax, what do you think of Bray Wyatt? Because he brought me back into wrestling. I like Bray Wyatt. I don't think that Bray Wyatt is like a world champion or like a WWE champion, like a Roman Reigns level superstar or a Cena level superstar. But for what Bray Wyatt was, he did a really good job. And I thought that Bray Wyatt is one of the few wrestlers that I actually will say was creative in a good way. A lot of wrestlers do things that are unique and different, but it's trash. Bray Wyatt, most of what he did, and I genuinely mean this, most of what he did I actually found entertaining, cool, or actually interesting. And I actually liked watching him. I thought he was cool. You know what I'm saying? The boy out here. It wasn't me. We got to stay cool, my brothers. You know what I'm saying? I love the way Bray Wyatt delivered his lines. He was really cool. I like Bray Wyatt. I think Bray Wyatt was awesome. Slice Wrestling said on his Patreon, who's very accurate with news, that they want Randy to fight for the undisputed belt at Mania. How would you book it, C-Jax? Okay, let's look at this. Oh, sorry, let me read this again. Let me read this one more time here. Angelucia 1987, thank you so much for your support. Good Artorias, thank you so much for your support as well, sending over the 5. Every time C-Jax gets a super chat, you deserve it. You know what I'm saying? But yes, this is what I would have done. Okay, this is how I would book a Randy Orton and Codarius Rodington eventual WWE Undisputed Championship match. Cody Rhodes is obviously not turning heel. That's not happening. Randall Orton would have to be the heel here, and we would have to do something special, okay? Cody Rhodes can basically say to Nick Aldis, one of these weeks after, let's just push this into Royal Rumble season we're in now. Randy Orton is still eyeing up the title backstage. He's obviously friends with Cody Rhodes. They just finished a tag match versus some jobbers on SmackDown, okay? But Cody Rhodes, it's shown backstage, right, that Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes is close with Sami Zayn, right? He likes Sami Zayn. We've seen it a lot. Let's say that backstage, Sami Zayn is getting beat up on the Titantron while Randy Orton is in the ring getting beat up by whatever tag team they're fighting, right? So Randy the next week on SmackDown is pissed off because Cody didn't come to help him and chose Sami Zayn over him. He then gets jealous of Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes' friendship, leading into the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. At Saudi Arabia, the SmackDown, or at the Saudi Arabia show, this would be a massive heartbreaker, and it would give Randy Orton big heel heat because of how Sami is viewed in Saudi Arabia. They love him out there. At the Saudi Arabia show, Sami Zayn, his music hits. You're expecting him to come out to the ring and anyways, you're expecting Samuel Zayn to come out to the ring. His music hits, they pan backstage, and Sami Zayn is getting destroyed by Randy Orton. But we don't know it's Orton. Sami Zayn is just beat up and he's attacked. He still goes out to the Rumble injured, and that's that. Randy Orton then enters a few numbers later and eliminates Sami Zayn and beats the crap out of him. Afterwards, we get to SmackDown because Orton's not going to win the Royal Rumble most likely. We get to SmackDown. Randall Orton announces that he wants to fight Cody Rhodes for his championship. It starts off as a face versus face feud because they're both friends. They love each other. They care for each other. Afterwards, it turns into something else. Cody Rhodes, in a promo with Randy Orton, says to Randy, you haven't been a world champion in 5 years. And I am now at the top, and you're looking up at me. Versus when I was in Legacy, I was looking up at you because you were the champion. That pisses off Randall Orton. And he just acknowledges it in the promo and laughs it off, and he leaves. Doesn't even do anything for the rest of the show. At the end of the show, after Cody Rhodes cuts a promo or has a match, whatever that night, he goes backstage and the show's still rolling. You're like, well, what's going to happen now? Randy Orton brings Cody Rhodes is walking back to his libation bus, right? Randy Orton beats the crap out of Cody Rhodes right in front of his Wheatley bus, just like The Rock did to him. And Randall Orton punts him in the head. Afterwards, that's Randy's official heel turn. The following weeks, he beats the crap out of Sami Zayn on SmackDown. He declares he's going to the Elimination Chamber to fight and see who's going to fight Cody, right? He wins the Elimination Chamber by hook or by crook. And eventually, Cody Rhodes returns after the Chamber to confront him and hits him with a crossroads and stands tall on the Elimination Chamber show. Then we have about 6 weeks until WrestleMania. Super chat here, FBA Young Lion, I appreciate your support. Sends over a 5. He says, C-Jax the GOAT. Does it feel like WrestleMania season? No. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for your support. But Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes have a feud, right? Randy is now a heel, and he says that Cody Rhodes, now in light of him announcing that, hey, this next WWE contract is his last and all this stuff and the way that it is in the storyline, Randy Orton tells Cody that he wants his championship, but he wants more than that. And so Randall Orton puts his career on the line versus Cody Rhodes, a career versus championship match, and you actually believe that Randy Orton is likely going to lose because he only has like a couple years left anyways. Randy Orton at Mania 42, after that heel turn, they have segments where, like, Cody just had a kid, right? Him and his wife just had a kid, him and Brandy. One of the segments leading up to Mania 42, Randy beats up Cody so bad that Nick Aldis sends him home. right? He sends him home. And the following week on SmackDown, Cody sends in a video segment where he's talking and doing a live interview with Michael Cole via Zoom or something like that. Cody gets a knock on the door. Randall Orton busts open his house, goes in, throws Brandy off camera. Not like throws her into something, but he just like pushes her off camera and beats up Cody in his own house, bro. Leading into Mania 42. That is an amazing segment. That would be a banger segment. Randy Orton goes in there on the Zoom call, beats the crap out of Cody, and is cursing the whole thing. He's like, yeah, Nicholas Aldis, you don't want me on SmackDown? Well, F you too. You know what I'm saying? Or screw you. I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to do this my own way. Randy Orton beats the crap out of Cody Rhodes in his own crib. This brings out a side of Cody that we have never seen, causing Cody Rhodes in 3 weeks, or 2 weeks after that, to visit Randy Orton's house while Randy Orton is banned from SmackDown and hit a Cody cutter on Randy Orton's freaking dinner counter, bro. Just out of nowhere. Just beating the crap out of him as Orton is doing his live interview. And it's a similar thing to when Triple H busted into Randy Orton's house about 15, 16 years ago to beat up Triple H. When Triple H busted into Randy Orton's house to beat him up, it's the same thing. And that is how I would do it. Then you have about 2 or 3 weeks before Mania 42. And of course, you have Randy and Cody cutting their 2 or 3 promos leading up. They get intense. But the rules of Nick Aldis is that they can't touch each other. So there's security around the ring and all that stuff. And they start taking shots. Randy Orton brings up Cody's dad. Cody brings up Randy's dad and how nobody cares about Randy's dad. The only reason they know him is because he married his mom and they had Randy Orton. Similar to what Cena brought up earlier this year. Cody brings that up. Randy Orton's taking jabs at how Cody Rhodes has been in the industry for 20 years and hasn't achieved half of what Randy has done. Cody Rhodes brings up the fact that Randy Orton hasn't been relevant since the 2008. You know, just bangers and just absolute just personal jabs over and over and over again. And eventually, a few weeks after those great heated promos, we get into Mania 42. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, career versus championship for a night 1 or night 2 main event, whatever night they pick. That's how I would book a Cody and Randy match. And the winner of the match would be Randy Orton. And Randy Orton would win the WWE Championship, and he would hold it all the way up until the following Rumble or the following SummerSlam. And there you go. If they're doing Randy versus Cody, Triple H needs to screen record the last 5 minutes and just make that into actual live action stuff that happens at next year's WrestleMania season. It's as simple as that. I just booked to you a main event story that is better than anything we have seen since Rock, Cody, and Roman at Mania 40. I don't get paid enough for this, bro. Triple H doesn't pay me enough. WWE doesn't pay me enough for this. Triple H is making millions of dollars, and I am giving you this for free. WWE needs to sign me immediately. Immediately, bro. But yeah, that's how I would do it. Finally, that way in the story, Cody Rhodes has edge. Randy Orton has edge. Like, not edge like the rest of it, but like edge. You know what I'm saying? Like edge, like a negative, like a angry edge to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like an edge. And they both have that. They both have anger. They both are cutting good promos, hopefully. And they both are unleashed. And they had great segments and stuff like that leading up to it. And the story as well would be really good. Plus, you can lay on some stuff in the history in the past as well. And there you have it. So, yeah. That's Lex, we're good. You know what I'm saying? But that's the way that I would do it, man. So, yeah, I don't know. That's what I think. Let me know what you think about how they would do Cody and Randy if they were going to go down that route. I think John Cena should fight Triple H for his last match for ownership of the company. That would actually be a W. If Triple H could still wrestle, I would genuinely be down to see that. And if Triple H lost, he gets fired, that'd be pretty peak. It's kind of like when John Laurinaitis got like AA through a table and they fired him. You know what I'm saying? I think that was pretty fire. But yeah, I just know that, see, the thing is about storytelling and wrestling is that you have to look at what worked and you have to try and duplicate that, but do it in a different way. So back then, Triple H just walked into Randy's house and they were just chilling. Now you would have to adapt it to now we're in a post-COVID world, whatever. You have a Zoom call and Randy Orton just interrupts the Zoom call and beats the crap out of Cody in front of his family and shoves Brandy into a couch. Simple as that. You have to adapt things. It's okay, because listen, it's okay to rehash segments or storylines from back in the day when wrestling was in its prime, but you have to do it in a new and inventive and exciting way. And what I just explained is how you can do it in that way. That's the best way to do it in the modernized era. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. Nowadays, if we're being honest, they don't have the ability to be edgy and to actually tell good stories consistently and to actually build intrigue. And that is really the problem, and that is why you're not going to get a story the quality of what I just talked about with Randall Orton. It's as simple as that, man. We can try and ask for it, but we're not going to get that, bro. So it's just, it's sad to think about it, but it is the reality of the situation. So there you have it. We think if Roman wins the Rumble, then he faces Punk. I hope not. Roman Reigns, if he wins the Rumble, is fighting Cody Rhodes. If he actually snoops down to fight for the B title, I would be shocked. I would genuinely be shocked. Unless they're saving him and Cody for Cody's retirement match or something, then I don't know. But we'll just have to see what happens. $3 billion of debt. You know what I'm saying? The final diddler. But yeah, I think that's, if I was doing Cena or if I was doing Randy and sorry, if I was doing Randy and Cody, that's exactly how I would do it, bro. 100%. It's just the way that it is, man. You have to book things, in a way that actually makes sense, in a way that can actually be exciting for fans. In the same way that Roman Reigns, the current state that he's at, if I'm being honest with you, this is going to be a rehash of what I'm about to say. Let me read this chat. The one main event, thank you so much for your support. He sends over a 5. He says, Paul liked your pitch with Randy, except you didn't mention love or respect. It can start off as that, because I did mention they both at the beginning will be faces, which is fine. I'm cool with them starting off as face versus face fight, and then eventually it turns into something else. That's the way that it should be, So that's the way that I really like that storyline, man. I really wish that they would do that, but see, honestly, I'd be okay if Cody main evented night 1 or night 2 if that was a storyline. If that was a storyline and it was executed to perfection, I would be okay with that night 2 main eventing, genuinely. I'm genuinely serious on that. I mean, I just don't know, how can you get a better Randy and Cody story than that? Triple H is not thinking of a better idea than that, so it is what it is. Plus, Punk wants to face JD. Yeah, that's the dumb stuff I'm talking about. JD McDonald's fighting CM Punk for a world title in 2025 is abysmal. One of them's 50. One of them's in their mid-30s and is a complete jobber. So, I don't know. C-Dex, what do you think of Daniel Bryan? Where would you put him on your list? In terms of in-ring wrestling, in terms of in-ring wrestling, I'd probably say he's like top 15, top 20. I like that. Oh, okay. Yes, sir. Yeah, I would put him in there. Bobby Monsoon 215, like, comment, subscribe, bow, is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Go sub to Bobby Monsoon. You know what I'm saying? He says, do you see the new landscape? Yes, bro. I yelled for like 15 minutes about that, man. Triple H is an actual liar. And what's going to happen is because he doesn't care about the product anymore, he's most likely going to sell the company off in a couple years because he clearly doesn't care. I saw him also say, he said that the WWE ticket sales have been records. Like they've been selling record-setting tickets. I'm like, yeah, they're record high prices. They're not record high sellouts, Do you guys remember in chat? I want to ask you guys this if you remember this. Remember during the Mania 40 season when Triple H was like, he was basically talking about, it was the record selling. That's what it was. It was the record gates, sellouts, and just constant money flowing into the company. And that was real. I went to Mania 40. There was 70+ thousand seats, and nearly all of them were filled. Probably like 69,500 of those 70,000 were filled completely. You know what I'm saying? It was basically a sellout, right? That was what it was. However, now it's been a year. When have they ever mentioned sellouts? And when has it actually felt or looked sold out? WrestleMania 41 was clearly not sold out. I made videos about that, so we already knew that. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Paul Levesque with another dono. Thank you so much, bro. He says, I would love to have you in the Royal Rumble as entrant number 1, C-Jax, to show my love, respect, and appreciation for you. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so much, Paul Levesque. Listen, if I'm available for the Rumble, man, and y'all are paying me the same thing you're paying Roman Reigns, I'll be there, bro. No doubt. WrestleMania 41 had many empty seats. Yeah. WrestleMania 41 was like, I think that the venue had like 65, maybe like 60 to 70,000 seats, and the actual distributed and sold tickets was around like 50K. So they were missing like 10,000 plus seats, but they tried to tell us that it was a sellout, and they were at like 80% capacity, which isn't even good. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, in this stage of WrestleMania for 2 nights each, you couldn't get more than 80% in their building. Come on, man. Stop. Just stop. That's the way that I see it. Let me see this here. What else was I missing? C-Dex, I love you. I respect you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you. Mr. Slayer 39, thank you for sending over the 5. I appreciate you, bro. Triple H's storyline is just respect, tag matches, fruit roll-ups, and brawls. Yes. That is exactly what it is. It's all the same stuff. The problem is, guys, because here's the thing, right? I am actually confident that because here's the thing, that this company can fix itself. It can. Because Triple H sucks at his job, obviously. But they can actually fix this. It's not that hard. The issues that are plaguing Raw come down to 3 different things, 2 of which you can fix literally next week. 3 problems. Number 1, you have no superstars. You can't really fix that because the only way to fix it is to build new stars, and Triple H is that bad of he's a terrible booker. He can't build new stars, so that's not an option. The other issue, all the rematches and repeat segments and repeat matches and repeat promos. If they actually, oh yeah, sorry, hold up, let me see. FBA Young Lion, thank you for the super chat. He says, CDEX, you skipped my last super chat question. My bad, bro. I don't know why I'm in this format, man. I got to get off my phone format and do it on a different way because that way I can actually see all the chats and read them, man. I'm sorry for missing your chat, but I do appreciate your support though. I'm sorry. I'm gonna see if I can go back and find it real quick. Let me look back here. Can I see this? I can't go back and see it. I gotta get off the phone. Well, next time I do this stream, bro, if it's just me, I gotta stream it on my laptop so that way I can actually monitor everything and set it up correctly. But yeah, that's the way I see it. But as I was saying, the second issue, along with you having no stars, is the repeated segments in repeat storylines. Next week, you can end every current storyline and set up another storyline in its place. These are simple fixes. You don't need to have an actual situation where the same story, the same match, in the same segment is playing out every week. All you have to do is end the current storylines and make new ones. Make new champions. Make new storylines. This isn't it's not rocket science. The reason why WWE was doing a solid job in 2023 and in 2022 even, I don't think they were doing great, but week to week things were shifting, for the most part. In the summers and later on in the years, like in the late parts when they're getting to War Games, things were very stagnant, of course. But for the good bulk of the year, storylines were moving. Things were changing. You get me? This isn't happening. But that's what happens when you have a needle mover like Roman Reigns showing up. In 2022, of course, things are going to feel meaningful because stuff was actually happening. And it is what it is. That's the second issue. I would blow up every current storyline and start new ones. Third problem. This is fixable, but it's going to take a minute. You need to have reasons to tune in, and you need to start ending your shows on cliffhangers. If your show sucks, like Raw tonight and Raw recently over the last however many weeks has been terrible, if you ended on a cliffhanger and an engaging storyline that actually we need to, for example, Braun Breaker turning on Seth Rollins a few weeks ago, him and Bronson Reed, I gave that credit because that was actually an entertaining and interesting thing that actually had me curious as to what was going to happen the following week. But the following week you tuned in and none of it mattered. Stupid. If you have situations where you can actually have endings that make you want to watch the next show, then yeah, that's why you should tune in. You get what I'm saying? It's as simple as that. Those two things can be fixed immediately, and then if Roman and Punk and Cody and Seth, or not Seth because he's injured, if those dudes could start showing up more on shows, if you fix those three things, your bare minimum quality would go up from a 1 or 2 out of 10 to a 5 or 6 out of 10 immediately. Immediately. It's as simple as that. These are not hard fixes. I don't think that they can get to having consistent good to great shows, but they can definitely get to having consistent average or above average shows. I mean, come on. They haven't had a Raw or SmackDown above a 1 or 2 out of 10 quality since 1974, bro. It's just ridiculous. Austin Theory would be a 3-time WWE champion. Yes, if booked by Vince McMahon, most likely he probably would have. But you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's just very sad to see what's happened with Austin Theory, but quite frankly, he is a jobber, and unfortunately, he has to be treated as such. C-Jax, what do you think of Becky's drip promo? Becky drip promo. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that, honestly, man. I talked about it in the review, when I actually was reviewing the stuff that happened on the show. I don't really care what she has to say right now. Until she's feuding with AJ Lee or until she loses to Maximus Dupree, what's there to say? Her reign has lost its momentum. It's lost its steam. It was good for a month or two, and now it's completely done. So there you have it. You think Cody Rhodes is trying to pull a Hulk Hogan in creative control? Oof. I mean, probably not. I heard Cody. No, I know he's not because Cody Rhodes literally tried to to have himself lose at WrestlePalooza. He thought it was a good idea for Drew to win. So I know that Cody's not politicking, thankfully. Sorry about that. FBA Young Lion, thank you for sending over another 2. He says, C-Dex, what's your top 5 AEW wrestlers? MJF, Will Ospreay. Do I want to go? Oof. Y'all are not gonna like this. I'm going Young Bucks, bro. I'm gonna group them in at just a one spot. Even though they're a tag team, obviously, I'm gonna put them at number 3. I like the Young Bucks. I'm gonna be honest with you. Number 4 is probably Bobby Lashley because Bobby Lashley is just one of my favorite wrestlers in general. And then number 5, I'm gonna go Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné for sure, bro. Mercedes Moné is probably my second or third favorite women's wrestler right now. She's she's amazing. At 5th, I'd probably go Mercedes Moné, bro. Yeah. Young Bucks, I know people are not going to like that, bro, but I like the Young Bucks. I really do. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a big Hangman guy. I don't care for Kyle Fletcher. He's a jobber. What's it called? Who else is there, bro, that they really have? I like Kenny Omega, obviously. I think pretty much everybody likes Kenny Omega, though. Kazuchika Okada is solid. Tony Storm is obviously phenomenal. John Moxley obviously is pretty awesome, but this current version of John Moxley, I'd be lying to you if I said that I like him more than any of the 5 wrestlers I named. It'd just be a lie. Darby Allin, nah, not a big fan. Not a big fan. Mercedes Moné, yeah. If we're talking women's wrestlers, I think we're going, oof. I'm gonna go with Mercedes Moné at 1. Tonito Storm, you know what I'm saying? Tony Stark at 2. You know what I'm saying? Tony Storm at 2. At number 3, oof. See, what do you guys think about Chris Statlander, bro? I think Chris Statlander is low-key overrated. That's the way, that's just my opinion. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if she's ready to have that spotlight, but that's just me, though. Castile Allen sends over a 5. He says, I respect you. I love you. I need you. You know what I'm saying? USJ, thank you for sending over the 5. I appreciate your support. He says, I don't think AJ Styles should retire in WWE. He should go to AEW and have his last match with Will Ospreay. Wow. Will Ospreay. That is, let me see something about Will Ospreay's contract real quick, actually. Let's see something real quick. Oh, yeah, he still is under contract. I don't know why I thought his contract just ended when that message was sent. I was like, I don't know why I thought this dude left AEW or something like that. But, yeah, nah. What was I talking about before, though, bro? I was talking about something. I forget what it was. But it was something about AEW women's wrestlers. But, yes, the bottom line is this. Mercedes Moné, Tony Storm. That's all you need to worry about. I think Chris Statlander is overrated, so I'm not even going to talk about that. I don't really care. But, yeah. Mercedes Moné and Tony Storm are 2 of my favorite women's wrestlers in all of wrestling. That's just the way that I see it. I think that in all of wrestling, if I'm actually doing a top 5, bro, give me Mercedes Moné at number 1. Give me Bianca Belair at number 2. Give me Tony Storm at number 3. At number 4, low key, bro. As much as I bash Liv Morgan more times than not is pretty entertaining. So I'm going to put Liv Morgan at 4, even though I'm not the hugest fan, but, like, we have to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? We can't just, like, lie about it. And then, honestly, Megan Bane's a good one. I forgot about Megan Bane. At number 5, I'm going to go Io. I'm going to go Io, man. I'm going to go Io. So we got Io. We got Bianca. We got Tony. We got Mercedes. And then who did I say at number 4? Who did I say at number 4, bro? I don't even remember who I said. You know what I'm saying? I don't even remember who I said, bro. The credit card maestro. Love your content, bro. To YouTube as well. I do YouTube as well. If you're ever in Atlanta, WWE tickets on me. Damn, bro. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you so much, man. For sure. Thank you, bro. Appreciate the support. Yeah, that's why I said Liv Morgan. Yeah, Liv Morgan. Tiffy time. No. Because now I might as well talk about this, right? Overrated wrestlers. Let's just set the record straight. What's his name? Bro? Gunther. If we're listing overrated wrestlers, Gunther is number 1. Number 2 is Cody Rhodes, Codarius Rodington. Number 3 is Rhea Ripley. Because here's the thing, though, I will say about this. Now that I'm talking about this, Rhea Ripley, low-key, under the right booking circumstances, if she just developed her promo and storytelling skills, Rhea Ripley likely would be the biggest wrestler in all professional wrestling, but behind Roman Reigns. Most likely. That's most likely what would happen. Because Rhea Ripley has potential. Right now, she's overrated. But don't be surprised if in a year or 2, when she finally figures out how to tell stories and cut promos, that she ends up being the top women's wrestler in all of wrestling. It's as simple as that. Like, I would not be surprised if that happened. She has a great potential. The same way that I bash Rhea Ripley is the same way I support her. I'm like a 50-50 on Rhea Ripley. 50% of the time, I'm saying that she's absolutely amazing and has incredible potential. The other 50%, I think she's acting like a jobber and that she's mediocre and overrated. So it is what it is. I'm 50-50 on her, bro. But for the most part, I think she is a mid-carder. In terms of what she is right now, I just don't think she's... I mean, because of all the gooners, obviously Rhea Ripley's the main eventer. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're big fans of her, so it is what it is. But, like, let's be honest with ourselves. No one's actually sitting down and actually thinking to themselves, man, Rhea Ripley is genuinely an actual, like, you know... We'd be lying to ourselves if we said she's not a superstar. She's a superstar, right? She's the biggest draw in the women's division across all promotions. So we have to give her credit where it's due. But if we're actually being real with ourselves, outside of the gooning fan base that she has... That's a lot of the reason why we have the hype for her. But outside of that, if she was booked better, I think she would actually have the hype and the quality to go along with it. Rhea Ripley said on a podcast, I think it was Chris Van Vliet, She says that like all the fans saying that she was over pushed and that she was Rhea Hogan and all that stuff actually got into her head because she was barely wrestling when she was champion. So obviously she started to get in her head. You know what I mean? Because she was barely wrestling and barely cutting good promos, doing anything. She wasn't doing anything of meaning or anything great in her opinion, but she was still getting praised, and that got in her head. She said it herself. So there you go. What do you think of my top five, C-Jax? I got number one, Stone Cold. Number two, Shawn Michaels. Number three, John Cena. Number four, The Undertaker. And number five, the Macho Man. The Macho Man, Randy Savage. Yeah. Um, it's a great top five, bro. It's a great top five. Your top five is basically identical to mine, actually. Let me go back and read this. Yeah, Cena's in my top five. Stone Cold's like in my top six favorites. If we're ranking objectively on who is the top five, then obviously Cena, Stone Cold, HBK, and Undertaker are probably four of the five spots. And then yeah, Macho Man. Yeah, Macho Man is awesome, bro. Slept into a Slim Jim. You guys remember when Jimmy Uso grabbed a Slim Jim a few weeks ago, the Slim Jim table, and Corey Graves goes, "Big Jim grabbed the Slim Jim." It's corny. If you had creative control, what's your first moves? I'm purging every storyline on Raw and SmackDown and starting anew. That's my first move. Completely moving everything around. My top five is Roman, and Roman. Yeah, that's the way that I see it. Roman Reigns is like, I just don't. Roman Reigns is really going to be remembered. He already is like widely accepted as like 80% of people will confirm he's the greatest superstar since John Cena by far. He's the only megastar and the greatest superstar since him. However, I think that Roman Reigns, his reputation is only going to get better. It's only going to get better because things are only getting worse, right? SmackDown consists of 30 minutes of Ilya Jabarov versus Nathan Frazier. People are going to go back. They're going to watch Roman Reigns' championship reign, and they're going to be just shocked at what we're seeing. So, yeah, I don't know. C-Jack, what's your top five mid-carders ever? In no order, Dolph Ziggler, probably R-Truth. I'm going to honestly count, you know what? But you know what's crazy, bro? LA Knight, Andrew McIntyre. And to round off the list of top five mid-carders, man, oof. Is it crazy to say that? No, yeah, I can't say that. No. That's a bit of a stretch. Yeah, I'd probably say those four, and then to round it off, top five mid-carders, bro, because that's such a good... I'm going to tell you a couple that were really overrated that could take the fifth spot. Number one is Kofi Kingston. Number two is Kevin Owens. And, in certain scenarios... Yeah, okay, that's who I was going to say Jeff Hardy, but I didn't know if people would confirm him as a mid-card or not. But yeah, Jeff Hardy's up there for sure. I think so. Finn Balor in 2016, maybe. I'd say he would be an option for sure. Top five jobbers. Oh, top five jobbers of all time. Oof. Val Venus, yeah. What's it called? That's the credit card maestro. Thank you for your support, man. Yeah, Val Venus. Yeah, I could see that. Dang, did I skip your super? Cyrus976, man, I'm sorry, bro. I gotta get off this setup, man, so that I can actually see everyone's super chat, bro. I feel bad for missing your guys' chat, because I really do appreciate the support and, all that stuff that you guys do for me, man. I really do appreciate it, but, yeah, I wish there was a way I could go back and check it for real, but anyways, what was I talking about? Undercard jobbers. Yes, my favorite jobbers of all time. Favorite jobbers. Dang, man. I'm going to try and go through eras and think about who are my favorite undercard jobbers, bro. I guess I can say Dolph Ziggler again because, he technically is a jobber. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. Dolph Ziggler, John Morrison, Montez Ford. It's crazy saying Montez. Can you believe that Montez Ford is actually a jobber and he's that good? That's so sad. Like, the fact that I just listed him like that, bro, is just sad. He's so good, man. But anyways, whatever. It is what it is. Montez Ford. Zack Ryder, nah. I don't think Zack Ryder's a top five jobber for me. Not for me. No, I'm not. Yeah, no. I don't know about that. Top five jobber, that's... Yeah, I don't know about that, bro. Top five jobber. I don't like jobbers, man. You guys know this, bro. I can't even say that, because, I all blur together after a while. Like, Ludwig Kaiser even is a decent jobber. Like, he's solid, but, are we really going to give credit to jobbers? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. So, I don't know. Hardcore Holly, that's definitely a decent one as well. See, but like R-Truth and Kevin Owens and stuff like that, like those aren't. I listed them for mid carders. Cesaro, that's good. Cesaro, that's good. That is definitely facts. Cesaro is in my top 5 mid card. I'm making an what's called an audible. We're adding Cesaro into my top 5 mid carders. Cesaro is awesome. C-Jax, your top 5 favorite Marvel movies. Let me save this super chat here so I can just go back to this real quick. All right, my boy Nick sends over a 5. Thank you so much for your support. He says, I think Gunther under the right booking could be the top guy in wrestling, but his stories are only attached to a title, which are very predictable. Yeah, that's the problem. You need guys who can tell stories and keep intrigue without the title. That's the biggest problem right now. Anyways, my top 5 favorite Marvel movies: Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 2, Avengers 1, Logan, and oof. I'm gonna go either X-Men Days or Future Past, or probably Infinity War, probably up there. Yeah, those yeah, one of those two would be the number 5. I see you, fellow Toby and Jor. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Tobey Maguire's the GOAT, bro, for sure. That's the Tobey Maguire's awesome. Where would you place Logan Paul? Logan Paul is like an upper carder for me, and I like him. I like Logan Paul. I think he's entertaining. But right now, what they're doing with him in the division is just stupid and forced, and it's meaningless. He will, after he takes this War Games match, bro, this dude will literally go back to part-timing, and we won't see him till the Rumble. He's going to be on the Vision for the next 3 or 4 weeks, and then he'll disappear for 2 months, come back at the Rumble, lose it, disappear for 4 weeks, come back at the Chamber, lose it, disappear for 3 weeks, get a random mid-card match at Mania, and then he'll be gone till SummerSlam of next year. It's the same thing. Even though I like him, he's talented, you know what I mean? But still, come on, man. Let's be honest with ourselves. Why do I look like chocolate? Why do you think? Like, I don't know what to, like, what, bro? Who else will join Braun and Logan's War Games team? Probably Austin Theory and Brock Lesnar, most likely. That's basically the way that it is. You should rate the past pay-per-view events from the 2010s. Yeah, I really should, bro. Like, let me see. Cyrus, thank you for sending it over there, too. He says, is Jeff Hardy valid for my number 1 all-time? Honestly, bro, yeah. Jeff Hardy, if we're talking favorites, is probably in my top 15 all-time. He's pretty awesome, bro. I love Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy was low-key my favorite wrestler when I was a kid. Like, it was him, Cena, and like Cena, and probably Randall. Yeah, probably Randall. Batista. Oh, no. Yeah, my bad. Jeffrey, Hardy, Cena, and Batista. Those are my 3 favorites growing up, for sure. It's not even debatable, bro. Not even debatable. Next was Shawn Michaels after them, obviously. What happened to Austin Theory? He's in catering. While you're in catering, if you ask him for a salad, he'll probably be able to give you one, bro. What's your thoughts on Juice World? I never really listened to Juice World, man. But rest in peace, though. Where are the Street Profits? In catering as well. If you guys want free catering gifts and everything like that, the Street Profits and Austin Theory, they got you good to go. We're good. FBA Young Lion with another 5. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for your support. He says, my top 5 AEW wrestlers in order: Swerve, Ospreay, MJF, Darby, and Okada. That's a W. The only one I don't know if I'm a big fan of is Darby Allin, but everyone else, yeah, I like the rest of those easily. Yeah, they're all pretty awesome. I like those. But yeah. Some say the writing's on the wall. Jeff Hardy, man. Dude, when that music hits, bro, if he's one of Cena's, like, in the 16-man tournament to fight Cena, bro, man, gosh, that's going to be so awesome, bro. Oh, my goodness, dude. Jeffrey Hardy, bro, what a legend. Do you remember when Jeff Cobb debuted? You know what? Jeff Cobb is low-key my 5th favorite jobber of all time, bro. Just because of the simple fact that Jeff Cobb is, like, actually hilarious. Like, if you just look at Jeff Cobb, you're, like, actually laughing at yourself. Like, there's just no way. What did it say? Are you Nigerian American? No, I'm not. I am African American with Jamaican. So I guess I'm Jamaican African American if you want to include everything inside of it, though. Yeah. Yeah. Batiman thing. Yo, C-Jax. What does it say? Yo, C-Jax, can you bring back your old intro song? Did I have an old intro song? I did have an old intro song. That was back like 3 years ago, though. I do remember that intro song, I'm pretty sure, actually. Do I remember how it went? But I do remember having that intro, though. I can't say that. Bumbo, me have to take out the garbage. Let's see. What music artist do I listen to? I don't really. I mean, honestly, like it's just a mixture of a lot of things. Like sometimes I listen to WWE like theme songs, only like the really good ones, of course, like John Cena's or like Batista's or like maybe Mark Henry's, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? None of the new stuff. When I was younger, I listened to Roman Reigns' "Head of the Table" theme song though for sure. I listen to that, like some, like whatever. I honestly just listen to whatever's on the radio. Like YouTube Premium gives me a playlist, and I just play it and just listen to the songs. It's really that, like it really is what it is. A lot of it is like jazz and like stuff that doesn't have any words in it, like superhero soundtracks and stuff like that. All that stuff. Listen to some gospel music sometimes. Yeah, nothing too crazy. I don't have like a specific set artist. Just any artist you list, I probably have heard their song. Like, what's some artists now that people listen to, bro? What do people even listen to anymore? Like Sabrina Carpenter. Do people still listen to Justin Bieber? Like sometimes I listen to Justin Bieber. You know what I mean? Even Jim Ross's commentary, "Can't Save Triple Frauds WWE." Yeah, that's actually facts, bro. Yes, I do have an Instagram. My Instagram and TikTok are actually linked in my bio on my YouTube account, I believe. Let me check if that's actually if they are linked there. I need to make sure they are if they're not actually. Let's take a look here. Where is it here? Let me move this out. Let me switch accounts. Yes, the TikTok and Instagram are linked in the bio on my YouTube. I believe so. I think so. View YouTube channel. Yeah, it is. It's linked in my bio. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, it's all linked in my bio on my YouTube channel. You just go there. There's a link right underneath my name, and you just click it and be good to go. What do you think of Fozzy? Never listened to him. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't listen to Fozzy. I'm going to be honest with you. Let's check this out here. Hey, Das Young Lion, appreciate you sending the 5. He says, did you get your peace and one love stuff from Marcus Garvey? And which side is African American and Jamaican? No, I got the one love and peace thing. I actually, like, I didn't see any, I don't think I remember seeing any videos before I started doing that, bro. I just started doing it when I was in high school. Like, before I even started making these videos, it was just something I said around my friends a lot, just one love and peace out and all that stuff. And then once I started making YouTube videos, I was like, you know what? One love. Maybe Bob Marley was an inspiration for it because that was his thing. My dad's side is African American and my mom's side is Jamaican side. So yeah, let me click this dono. Ever since War Games made it into main roster PLEs after Mania, you would see factions beating wrestlers and stretch all the way to November. Yeah, that's what they do. Just factions brawling and they just last it to November. And, that's pretty much all it is, bro. What does this say here? Let me read some of these chats that I missed. What's your top 5 favorite WWE games? I've only played like 4. I played SmackDown versus Raw for like 2 or 3 years, like in the late 2000s and early 2010s. And then I played 2K15, I believe, and then I stopped. And then I just started playing 2K25 actually with my friend, my boy Lex. Me and him play it sometimes. So yeah, pretty cool. C-Dex, I love you. I respect you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have you watched Peacemaker? I saw season 1. Haven't watched season 2 because James Gunn's DCU is an absolute piece of garbage. It's as simple as that. You watch anime? Nah, I don't. I've been getting told to get into it though, bro. I might actually have to lock in and just handle business. You know what I mean? Do I play Fortnite? Nah. Well, actually, no, I do. I do play Fortnite sometimes. Christian Dizon. C-Dex, I love your watching your rant videos. You always make me cry with the impressions, including Drew McIntyre's. Thank you so much for your support, Kristen. I appreciate that. Big Doink, or Big Dionk. Do you look forward to James Gunn's DC universe? No, absolutely not. They need to either bring back the DCEU and the Snyderverse, or they need to cancel it completely. I'm sorry to be that guy, but it is what it is, man. C-Dex, I'm a 20-year-old content creator. I love your vids. Maybe one day we will collab. Hey, man, I appreciate your support and continue to stay consistent, bro. Always. Don't get down on yourself, no matter what the views say, no matter what anything says, man. Just continue to remember your mission. You know what I'm saying? You had a purpose before anyone had an opinion. You know what I mean? I just stole that directly from Jalen Hurts. So before you worry about what anybody's saying, just always do what you think is best and continue to stay consistent in your journey, bro. And, see where it leads. I can't stop thinking about Randy. Because people are comparing Juice WRLD and Jeff Hardy since their lives are very similar. They are very similar lives, actually. But different because of, sports and music. Yeah, I feel what you mean. But, yeah. At the end, James Gunn sucks, bro. Don't even, no. We're we're good. But, yes. Guys, this has been a phenomenal stream. There will be more streams going forward because at the end of the day, like, we have to show up here and we have to show support to you guys, the viewers. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like how CM Punk did a You Deserve It to the fans earlier, bro. What is this? Who is Tiz? You a basketball fan? What team should I use online? Probably you should use The in play now, if you're playing NBA 2K, you should probably use the Mavericks. The Mavericks are really good. Either them or the Thunder, obviously, and then Minnesota is also pretty good for play now. But still, like CM Punk was saying, thank you to the fans. You know what I'm saying? Do I speak patois? I speak a little bit. I speak a little bit. Only what my mom is like, what she said, I can just repeat that, and that's basically it. I have a little bit of patois dialect I can pull out sometimes, but it's not consistent. Um, yes, this stream was amazing. Just like the first one, this is a record gate. You know what I'm saying? Record numbers, record gate. I had a phenomenal time. I really do appreciate you guys, all of your support. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of YouTubers, like a lot of people just in general, you know what I'm saying? Whenever like people are like, they only shout out people when things are going good or bad, but or when things are going good, sorry. I'm shouting you guys out whether it's good, bad, mid, whatever. I don't care what the viewership is. I don't care what nothing. You guys showing up and supporting in the stream is very important. And I really appreciate it. I really do. You know, I'm not just saying it just to say it. I do appreciate every single one of you who is in chat. Everyone who sent over the donos and the super chats. You guys are very much appreciated. And I thank you guys so much for your support and for appreciating me and supporting me in my journey making these videos for you. So, with that being said, I thank you. I love you. I respect you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, and I thank you all for coming to the stream. It was a joy. It was a blast. I absolutely loved it. And the live, yes, the live will be staying up. If you go to my channel at like in about like probably like 20, 30 minutes after this live is posted, it should be uploaded automatically to my YouTube, and you'll be able to find it under the live tab or videos tab. One of those two, it will be there, just like the last one. But anyways, thank you guys for making this stream absolutely incredible. I appreciate you. I thank you. I love you. And we may be back here for Friday on SmackDown, man, to check out the more garbage that's going to happen and to watch Drew McIntyre come out and complain for the 50th time and remind us that he can't stop thinking about Cody. And yeah, we'll see what happens on Friday Night SmackDown. If I do a live, I'll let you guys know. If not, then I'll just make a review probably. But we'll see what happens. Either way, thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, have a phenomenal day. Peace out. And one love. I can't even do the you know what I'm saying? You know, but all right. Now there's the part where I have to awkwardly click the X button to end the stream. But thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate you.